Finna keep M's money. They say money talk, I ain't got no time to waste it. You ain't got no time. Out and about, out chasing paper. The streets of my house and the house always wins like Vegas. Never down for the count, second win, second nature. Found mine, never had my hands out, fuck favors. By design, everything tailored. In my youth, it was shell toes, no Chuck Taylors. We choke game, how to have a game so. It's still the same code game, so it's still the same code. We all pay the cost, pay dues. Move with the mind state that I can't lose. On the grind, push a hard line with my linemen. Back when I was young, they said it's all about timing. Till it's my time, all the stars are aligning. I'm a diamond in the rough, couple cuts got me shining. This game you cannot cop on consignment. In the field, all we do is execute assignments. The game should be sold, not told. So we finna keep everybody broke. They say time is money, they say money talk. I ain't got no time to waste, you ain't got no time to talk. The game should be sold, not told. So we finna keep everybody broke. They say time is money, they say money talk. I ain't got no time to waste, you ain't got no time to talk.
First, we get into this paper. See, I want it all, plus some UNDERDOG, cause a lot of alcohol, few dad bags of paper. Run this shit like a ship and I'm the sailor. Cold, kinda like it's fresh up out the freezer. Cold, if she ain't talking bread, I don't need her. Soon as I meet her, I'm a fucker, then I leave her. It's the old Mac knees, treat them all like bottom feeders. Break it down slow for them folks that don't know. I'm a seasoned vet, black belt out the dojo. With a wide range of weapons, so I'm out the holster. Keeping all options open, so many ways that I can fold ya. Told you from the gate, never been about no play. Get it on the go, they never been known for no delay. The game should be sold, not to be told. Keep your mouth shut, don't have to break the mold. Mac knees.
Break the work down, it's fence the move. Push that work out, I distribute. Break the work down, it's fence the move. Push that work out, I just distribute. A young pack mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the foreign or I'm hopping out the Uber. Crew clocking chips opposite of you losers. Can't be broke as a joker, got no sense of humor. Just a young pack mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the foreign or I'm hopping out the Uber. Crew clocking chips opposite of you losers. Can't be broke as a joker, got no sense of humor.
I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. You know I'm the boy, get money's what I'm used to.
Keep you straight from the gate, so I don't confuse ya. I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. I'ma make noise, shout to my producer. I'm an entertainer, but I ain't here to amuse ya. Yeah, fuck with shooters, and they all fucking users. Come through and wake that ass up like a rooster, hella early in the morning. Early bird gets a worm. Finna get rich for 'em, food for the worms. Cutting cocaine, dumping whole things. It's a cold game, make you run your gold chain. Hungry, but I'm moving in a keto state. For sure, I beat the price on the keys in your state. Catch me running up a tail, fucking up a bag. Make me wonder how long will a good thing last. On my Curtis Mayfield, live a life I can't chill. Push a man, pushing packs, all I do is make squeal. Keep it 100, I'm just numb, yo, I can't feel none of these suckers when they say they real. Stacking Uber cash, stay supplied. Random Uber man here to get away drive. Just a young pack mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the foreign or I'm hopping out the Uber. Crew clocking chips opposite of you losers. Can't be broke as a joker, got no sense of humor. Just a young pack mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the...
We are into week 3. We've got RBs going down left and right.
That's
what
a
up,
fact.
Hammer?
What's happening, brother?
Oh man, just more injuries, more running back injuries to my squads.
That's not
Um,
necessarily true. It's getting spicy out there, and I had thrown a message in the group in the home league chat that the number of hamstring injuries, Jamal Williams now out with a hamstring injury for the Saints.
care
I,
about him.
I understand, but I'm just saying it's part of a trend that is absolutely running rampant throughout the NFL with these goddamn hamstring injuries. Two of my key guys, Aaron Jones and Christian Watson, hamstring. Haven't seen Christian Watson this season either yet. Aaron Jones, one of our biggest pieces, hamstring injury, catching a touchdown pass. So I think that's very attributable to a lot of these star guys just not playing in the preseason.
Yeah, it could be. It definitely could be. What's up, everybody in the chat? Marty, Crispy, Germ, bang. Davlin, what's up? It's your favorite neighborhood. Dr. Puka time. There you go.
He's been awesome. He's been
Listen,
fantastic.
Puka is he did it again. Marty, what up, Marty? So yeah, Puka is definitely gonna be a guy, for the rest of the season. And could be going forward too as well, of course. But what's going to happen when Cooper Kupp comes back? If he comes back, if Cooper Kupp stays healthy, if Matt
Which
Stafford stays the quarterback, because I think that's the biggest thing is that for this year, we all kind of underestimated Stafford because of the injury he had and everything that happened last year. We didn't think this
and
offense
the
was going to be
offseason was
good at all.
weird, right?
We didn't think the offense was going to be good at all without Cooper Kupp, and here they are.
They've been respectable. Like
Yeah.
Puka, and don't forget to really quick. I know we're going to talk about some potential waiver wire pickups, some buy guys, but not only Puka, but Tutu Atwell has been a revelation as well.
Tutu as
So
well?
let's not underrate him either.
There's nobody there, and they have a quarterback. The biggest thing in football for any of these wide receivers is just having a quarterback that can throw the football. I mean, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin. I mean, and then you look at guys like, Diggs. Like, what's the biggest difference between all these guys? It's having a quarterback that can really throw the damn ball.
No
Most
arguments
of
there.
these guys that are the top wide receivers have quarterbacks that can get them the football. So
Now, just a really quick aside on that point.
Caddy.
In the Josh Allen case, did Diggs make Josh Allen? Because Diggs was already established.
No, well,
Does it go the other way? Does it go the other AJ Brown?
the Diggs make well, yeah. I mean, you can say that too, but they're capable pass throwers. We've seen DJ Moore and Terry McLaurin continuously finish as like wide receiver twos, and they're not making the quarterback necessarily better. Like, yes, they are making catches maybe that they normal wide receivers might not be. They're making great catches and all that, but look at all the quarterbacks they played with. None of them can last, or none of them have been successful. Josh Allen continuously, successful, right? Cheetah and Waddle. You've got fucking Chua in there, right? There's all these top wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb. He's got Dak throwing him the rock. Like most of these top wide receivers. Like if you put Chris Godwin on the Bills instead of Diggs, if you put Terry McLaurin, if you put DJ Moore, like these are all going to be top guys. The difference is they don't have the quarterback.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I was just kind of being a little devil's advocate there because I can see it on the flip side, right? Where the wide receiver makes the quarterback better.
Oh, that's definitely true as well. I'm just kind of saying, I guess, from the point of most of these top wide receivers that finish at the top have always good quarterbacks. Pretty much, the majority have good quarterbacks.
I would agree.
Caddy was good. Davlin said, "You don't leave the number 2 national medical metro to go to a specialist to Minnesota if there's not a serious issue." Yeah, listen, advocates of not taking Kupp and redraft, they're kind of just avoiding him. I know I have. I don't know if that was kind of your thing as well, Hammer, but for me, I was just totally avoiding Cooper Kupp, totally avoiding Josh Jacobs, totally avoiding JT. Just avoiding all of those kind of situations. Another hamstring guy for the Hammer. Yeah.
Bro, it's pissing me off because I've noticed it. Like, it's been a wild trend this season, even more so than seasons in the past that I can remember, with just so many injuries. Now, not only are guys not playing in the preseason shortened. Now, like I said, you can play devil's advocate on that too. You know, guys don't want to risk getting hurt. They're getting, especially the top guys that are getting paid a ton of money. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and look, these guys get hurt. Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley, guys are going to get hurt. So I think the soft tissue injuries are definitely attributed to not as much work in the preseason and even in training camp, because if I remember correctly, they collectively bargained out 2-a-days. So they're not doing as much work in training camp. The preseason's been shortened. A lot of these guys aren't playing in preseason, the star guys anyway. So it's really pissed me off. What happened to Nick Chubb can happen to anybody. That's not attributed to, I'm talking about the soft tissue, hamstring, calf. Joe Burrow, my God, he might not play. It's a war of attrition now. And if you got a decent bench, you might be making some hay right now.
Mhm. Jay, what up? Discount. Good evening. Would you trade Kittle and Kyron Williams for Kelsey and Pierce half PPR?
Yes. I would trade Kittle and
absolutely.
Kyron for Kelsey alone. The fact that you're getting Pierce is just gravy on top.
Yeah. Yeah, give me the difference maker there. And with Kelsey, it wasn't a hammy that's like lingering on. Like, he'll
No.
get his knee back and he'll be okay. So he'll be all right. So Caddy said I'm 6 of 8 in waiver. If someone takes the person I claim before me, does it automatically give me the next priority, or does it wait till everyone's first priority? No, it goes to whatever your next waiver is, whatever your next priority is. So you're good. Davin said it's the turf. Yeah, I saw something that it would cost the NFL
like
$12
million.
$12 million, which is not even that much, which is
that's pennies.
Which is a running back fucking
pennies.
Running back salaries now.
Bro, the NFL makes like $10 billion a year. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. No problem, man.
Take that.
You got it, bro. Richard, what's up, man? Thoughts on JT usage when he returns? I mean, I think when he returns, he'll be used. I don't think there'll be much of an issue. The issue is going to be if that team is in the playoff hunt, and he only needs to play 6 games. That's the thing. He only needs to play 6 games, and if that team's not in the playoff hunt, or he's not going to want to break his back for that team. If they already said they're not going to pay him. Now, does he get traded? That's the other aspect of it. Does he possibly get traded? There are teams that could use a Jonathan Taylor, but they've also got to pay him at the same time. So if he doesn't get traded, I'm very afraid that he plays 6 games to get the credit for the season, and then just I tweaked my ankle or my hammy hurts, whatever it is, and just not play the rest of the season, because it doesn't make sense for him to risk that, to risk his health when he needs to go and get a contract and play somewhere else.
Now, did you see or did you hear that the NFL filed a grievance against the Players Association for telling these running backs, hey, if you feel a little tweak, to shut it down?
You can't prove that they're not hurt, so there's not like
medical records.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of, but
doctors are going to have to vouch. Doctors are going to have to be put on the spot.
If it hurts, it hurts. If the doctor's touching you, you're saying you're feeling pain. I mean, what are they going to do? But
that is a hard case
hand in
to
hand
prove.
with
I
it.
agree.
If they're trying to screw over the running backs,
that's
why am I going to break my back?
Yeah.
Why am I going to break my back for you? Like, I need to, I need a contract. I need to feed my family. Like,
for sure.
I can't be trying to get hurt. We've seen just what happened to Nick Chubb. We've seen what happened to J.K. Dobbins. What almost happened to Saquon. I thought he almost broke his whole shit too.
But he lucked out.
Yeah. Check waiver report. It would say like someone unsuccessfully claimed Puka because I got him. Yeah, so that means someone else tried to claim him, but they were
had the higher waiver.
You had the higher waiver. Their waiver was after you. Silky, what up, Silky? Yeah, I was trying to write back, but then I was trying to get ready to get on. I think I would take Waddle here. I think it just minimizes the risk of when Kupp comes back and then Puka is a wide receiver 2-ish. hopefully, and we're also we're also praying that Matt Stafford plays the whole season. They're not a losing team, towards the end of the season when it really matters, because these are the things that we were worried about beforehand, which still could be of some concern later on in the season. But I think with Waddle, like, you're absolutely safe to lock in a top 15 guy, I feel like. So you can minimize the risk and come off of Puka for Waddle. But that's me. What do you think, Hammer? Are you taking Puka or are you taking Waddle?
I'm taking Waddle just because I know, like you said, Waddle's the sure thing, and he's the more explosive guy. And I always talk about on a week to week basis. Right now, I know Puka's going crazy, but obviously there's no cup there. I just wonder if teams are going to start to lock in. Now, I do think Cup coming back isn't the worst thing, because it'll open up a lot of things for him. And I think those guys could be really dynamic, kind of a possession version of Waddle and Hill, right? Not the speed, but the possession type guys that are really good in those short and intermediate routes and run after catch. So Puka's really good, but you have a more sure thing in Waddle. So I think you kind of have to go with that sure thing in Waddle at this point. More upside as well.
The other thing with Puka is that he's getting so peppered with targets. Is can he stay healthy? After the first week, he was banged up. He's a very physical player. He doesn't just go down or get out of bounds to not get hit. Like, he's not that type of guy. He's good around the line of scrimmage. They try and get him the ball every way they can. And one thing with Puka, all throughout college, he was just unable to stay healthy. So can he sustain that for the whole season is another kind of risk as well. So for all of those reasons, give me Waddle, because worst comes to worst, Cup maybe gets hurt again, doesn't come back, and Puka finishes as a top 12 guy, but Waddle is the same thing. So I'll take Waddle, Silky.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of the risk factor, right? Waddle, I'm locked in with Waddle. There you go, bro. You good, Silky. Richard said with that Colts QB running the ball, afraid he will take touches away from Taylor.
Not necessarily, because I think that, especially with Anthony Richardson kind of getting banged up this past week, I think they're going to, that coaching staff is going to look at it and go, hey, listen, if we got Jonathan Taylor back there, are we going to, risk running our young quarterback? Now, I think the RPO game will be really strong. I'm worried about Anthony Richardson, and this is one of the reasons why I was kind of a stay away from him. Not because I don't think he's talented. I think he is talented. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Justin Fields, but a little bigger version, a little more bulkier version. But
is he more Cam Newton?
Yeah, that's probably, and I think I probably brought that up as well. But these running guys, man, they get hurt. It's just that simple. And when you're a physical player like he is, and you're running, especially down near that goddamn goal line, you're going to get your head knocked off. And he took a big hit, and now he's got some injury concerns.
You know what's crazy is Trevor Lawrence fucking told him. I don't know if you heard about it. Trevor Lawrence told him, you got to protect yourself in this league, because it's not like college. The hits are a lot different now in the NFL. And then he goes out and gets hurt, and it's like,
we kind of saw a little bit of a flash with him, this past week in Houston, where he started. You kind of saw something there, and you're like, damn, that's the upside. But the downside is, when you're that type of player and you have reckless abandon, you're going to get hurt. And that's exactly what happened.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid he's going to take touches away. Will he take away some touchdowns? Yeah, maybe. But I think Taylor will still be fine. But again, the main concern is him actually finishing the season and playing more than those 6 games if he's not traded. Your best case scenario is that he gets traded. That's what you want. Davlin said full PPR, traded Wilson and Watson for Stevenson and Lockett. Garrett Wilson and Christian Watson, I'm guessing, for Stevenson and Lockett an hour before Chubb went down. I'm back to square one. I need Viagra because I lost my Chubb.
Davlin, that is well played by you. But I'm not in love with this trade. I don't mind it. Obviously, I'm thinking this is redraft. So,
or is that Deshaun Watson? Because he's saying an hour before Chubb went down, right? That's got to be relevant to, I don't know.
Maybe. Even
Let us
still,
know. Let us know, Davlin.
yeah, I mean Lockett's been really good. Obviously, I think Watson has a really high ceiling when he comes back. Now, health is a concern with him as well, right? He was hurt early in his rookie year last year. He hasn't seen a game. He probably won't play this week as well. That's what it's looking like. So I don't know. That's a tough one for me because there is some really good upside, but it looks like you're going kind of steady production now to get you there rather than waiting on Christian Watson or Deshaun Watson, who hasn't played well. Let's just call it what it is. And then Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's still going to play well, but I just don't think he has the ceiling that he had, obviously, with Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know how I feel about it, but I understand the thinking, maybe in terms of kind of just solidify yourself now with Stevenson and Lockett for guys. If that's Christian Watson who's hurt. So
well, I'm all right with it. Madden's 12-team Superflex looking to pivot off of Ayuk or Burks. What some players you would rather have in place of them?
I think Ayuk is a good sell high kind of guy.
Yeah, I just did it.
And you kind of see why, evidenced by last week, right? Like he's not. We said there's gonna be weeks where he's gonna have his and he's gonna go for 102 touchdowns, and then there's gonna be weeks where Christian McCaffrey goes off, or Kittle goes off, or Debo goes off. Debo had a game this week, so the fluctuation with Ayuk, and now he's a game time decision. It says. Shoulder injury.
What is it that you need, Maddens? What is it that you need, I guess, for your team that you can pivot off to? So I just traded Ayuk in a league because I had Aaron Rodgers and he went down. So I traded Ayuk and a second, and I got back Russell Wilson, Shaheed, and Joshua Kelly. Right. So I thought that was a really good trade for me because I was able to get a quarterback like without having to spend crazy. Like, I didn't have to give up my JJ. I didn't have to give up my Garrett Wilson. I didn't have to give up my Calvin Ridley.
And Shaheed is pretty damn good.
The what?
And Shaheed is pretty damn good.
Shaheed is pretty good. And I have Reynolds as well. So I thought like it was okay if I gave up Ayuk to try and salvage my season a little bit. Because I had no quarterback after that. So that's one move that I made. So maybe if you need a quarterback, you can look into getting a quarterback.
Yeah, I think that is important too. And we talked about this. If you haven't seen Madden's, if you haven't seen our trade episode, go take a look at that. But we always talk about like, what's your target? What are you looking for? Target a specific team, right? And a 2-player package is nice.
Or
especially if it's 2 for 1.
Are you tiering? You can tier up from these guys, or you can tier down because we're talking dynasty tonight, right? My dynasty buy is Deontay Johnson. Okay. Can you go from Ayuk to Deontay Johnson plus? Right? Can you get Deontay maybe in a second for Ayuk right now? I'll take that pivot down. You get a little asset on top of that. Right. That's just a little tier down if you wanted to tier down. But I think I'd be more trying to tier up, taking advantage of the value in Ayuk right now, and be trying to tier up from him. So I'm probably looking quarterback if you need, because the value is so high, or you're tiering up to another wide receiver like the DKs, the T Higgins. DK is actually a good target right now, as well, because he's a little bit injured and hasn't kind of produced like crazy. So, he's a guy that might be on the market.
Yeah, I think like you said, you have to have a plan, and that's something we talk about. Like, what is your plan? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? So, we can't really answer that question specifically, but let us know what you're targeting, what the other teams in your league look like, and then we'll be able to maybe give you some better advice.
Todd, the trade question. 12-team PPR Superflex. Which side you taking? Jacobs, Sutton for Pierce, Evans. PPR Superflex. Jacobs and Sutton for Pierce and Evans. What side you taking? We are talking Dynasty here. We are talking Dynasty.
This is Dynasty?
Yeah. If it's not Dynasty, please let us know, but I'm gonna say that it's Dynasty since it is a Dynasty show tonight. We are still taking redraft questions, so you can throw those out there as well.
Just
But
specify, so at least we kind of have that
so we got
direction.
Jacobs and Sutton for Pearson. Oh, this is well, St. Louis said his was redraft. That's fine. Okay, for yours, I got you. No problem. All right, Todd said it is redraft. Okay, all right. Thanks, Todd. Yeah, guys, just I should have put that in the chat.
That makes a little bit of a difference.
Just be specific in any of the trade questions. This way, we can make sure we give you the right insight. You know, Dynasty or redraft, we're taking all questions. Doesn't matter. Just be specific so that we can answer it properly. Appreciate everybody in the chat, guys. Smash that like first. Smash that subscribe if you're new. And we'll get to all the questions. We are streaming on both channels, so just have a little bit of patience, but we'll get to everybody. All right, so we're talking redraft here for Todd. 12-team Superflex PPR. Jacobs and Sutton for Pierce and Evans. Which side do you want, Hammer?
I'd rather have Jacobs over Pierce, but I'd rather have Evans over Sutton. I don't want to call it a push, so but it's very. What's the word I use? What's the word I use for, like, if it's a push? Fuck, I can't. Lateral-ish.
Lateral move. No,
yeah.
Go ahead.
This sort of feels lateral-ish. If it's redraft, though, I think you want to roll with the higher upside wide receiver. I don't know. I think Jacobs will get his shit together. I just think because he's been out of camp, and missed pretty much everything, I think it's going to take him a couple of weeks to get rolling, but I do think he's going to finish in the top 12. He'll get his touchdowns, and that Vegas team is not that bad. They got blasted by Buffalo. But I don't know, dude. Mims just fucking came out of nowhere, so Sutton and Judy's back. I don't know.
Mims had 2 targets, so he had 2 huge catches, but he only had 2 targets. It's not like
he made the plays, though. When you make those splash plays, you get on the radar.
He did.
So this is a tough one. This is very lateral-ish. If I had to pick, I'll go Pearson Evans here.
I'm going to go Pearson Evans as well. And you don't even have to stop here. I actually just recorded a video of some guys to buy. And Evans was one of the guys to try and use to buy some of these higher end, some of these higher end guys, right? I mean, Chase hasn't been really good right now, right? Waddle is another guy. AJ Brown. These are guys that, would you rather AJ, like Evans is good, but is he going to keep this? Are we going to keep this up the whole season? I think he still gets his 1,000 yards and he can still be a top 20 guy, but does he have that top 12 upside for the whole season, do we think?
It's a good point. And I think what you said is something to keep in mind as well, where you're kind of looking 2 steps ahead. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, Evans is balling out right now. So if I get Evans as a guy that's balling out, I can use Evans plus to get Waddle, somebody like that. Or like you said, even a buy low guy in Chase, where you got to think they're going to figure it out, Burrow and Chase. So, give me Pearson Evans here.
Boba, Ridley or Gibbs better for non-PPR?
Who plays non-PPR? I think it's still Ridley. I know Monty's hurt, and it looks like he's going to be out a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. I still think it's Ridley, though.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Ridley, too. Bryce, what's up, Bryce? Should I trade DK and Ramondre for Chase and Algier? DK and Ramondre? Yeah, fuck yeah. Give me Chase, bro. And then trade Algier. Another 2-move step, because I want to trade Algier right now while his value is still kind of high. You could keep him if you want, but I feel like you can probably add something and buy a better running back if you want. But I'm taking Chase side. What you got, Hammer?
Yeah, anytime you're getting the best player in the deal, that kind of is what matters.
It's the perfect buy low right now for Chase. I mean, maybe Burrow misses this one game, maybe he doesn't, but and maybe it's something that kind of lingers over, for a few games. But I think Burrow is still going to be able to sling it. I still want the upside in Chase.
Yeah, Chase is going to finish in the top 10. It's just he's that dude. So give me that way upside.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Puff on, no problem, Todd. Appreciate you. Make sure you smash that like first, smash that subscribe there. Come through whenever. We are typically on most nights. Where was I? Here we go. Richard said currently have Rashad White, free agent available, Kyron Williams, and Jerome Ford. Should I consider dropping White or either guy?
I think for either guy. I'm holding on to Rashad White. You talk about this all the time. Is there somebody else you can drop? Depending on your format, if you're in a one quarterback, are you? Do you have an extra tight end maybe that you don't need? Something like that, because I think Kyron and Jerome Ford are both going to be valuable regardless going forward. So I don't think I'm dropping, and Rashad White as well. I'm not dropping Rashad White. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
So one of those guys are a good add. There has to be somebody else that has a lot less value and a lot less upside that you could drop. And also depends on how deep the league is as well. Derek, what up, man?
What's up, Derek? Yeah, I agree. I don't really want to drop Rashad White. If you really had to, I don't know. I kind of really do like Jerome Ford, but give me. I still want to hold Rashad White. So there's got to be somebody else maybe that you can get there.
Yeah, I was getting ready to bring this up.
So I don't care about Kareem Hunt. I think that Jerome Ford is going to still be the main guy. Kareem Hunt will get some touches, but I don't think it's a 50-50 split or anything like that. The reality is that Kareem Hunt is just not that good anymore. That's why he's not on a team. He's visited multiple places. He's just not the same guy that he used to be. So I don't think he's going to have startable value. You got to roster him just in case, maybe Ford gets hurt or something like that. But I do like Pierre Strong as well. Maybe he's the next guy that steps up. Kareem Hunt, he does know, I guess, the offense and everything, so it's kind of easy for him to kind of step right in. But I don't think he's a threat to Jerome Ford, who's going to get most of the touches there. I just think he'll be a guy that comes in and gives some breathers, I guess. But I don't know. What do you think, Hammer? Do you think something different? Do you think Hunt comes in and kind of splits things or what?
I wouldn't say it splits things, but I definitely think it impacts Jerome Ford's upside. You know what I mean? Just because of the familiarity, as you brought up, and because he knows the offense. And I'm not going to say I think he's done. Was he the player he was 3 years ago? Obviously not. But I do think it kind of caps or it takes a hit on Jerome Ford's upside. So I have Jerome Ford in our subscriber league, and now I have a startable RB2, which is fantastic.
Yeah, you do. That's like I have him in most of my leagues.
Yep.
But why can't Jerome Ford be what Nick Chubb was? Right? Did Hunt hurt Nick Chubb when Hunt was kind of still good at that point? No, Chubb was still doing his thing, right? So in that same kind of offense,
is Jerome Ford
70-30? No, but I'm saying even if it's 70-30, is not necessarily that he's Nick Chubb, but he's going to get the opportunities. He's going to have the opportunities to, produce fantasy points. So
no, I totally agree. I'm just saying you got to imagine they're bringing him in for a reason. They're not going to bring him in to just have him be the third back behind Pierre Strong.
Yeah, why? Yeah, well, he could be the third back behind Pierre Strong, or maybe he's a second back, but he's a guy that's already familiar kind of with the offense, so it's easy for them to implement
on.
him right
Yeah.
in, where they don't have to worry about a learning curve. They have their guy kind of
No, I think
right there.
Jerome Ford's the guy. I don't think there's any argument on that. I would be very interested to see if they did sign him, how he incorporates into that offense, and if it's going to take some of Jerome Ford's ceiling. Is it going to take that 100-yard receiving work? Cap some of that. That's all I'm saying.
Last trade question: Pollard, Hopkins, Dubes for Henry, Metcalf, and Wilson. Yeah, I'm taking Henry, Metcalf, and Wilson. But what do you think, Hammer?
Yeah, you kind of rather have Henry. Let's line it up. Yeah, you rather have all three of those guys over the first three. So yes, absolutely.
For sure. I like that. Mr. Discount. One Nation was good, bro. 12-team Superflex, full PPR, IDP, 2 seconds. Would you be willing to trade one for Jerome Ford? Yeah, I'd trade one for Jerome Ford. It's exactly what he is worth.
Yeah.
Running backs are CMC, Jacobs, Monty, Herbert, Bigsby, Hunt. Yeah.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I don't know if this is a dynasty. Nick Chubb's injury.
2 seconds. He said 2 seconds.
Oh, there you go. You're right.
He's
You're
talking
right.
about a second. Yeah.
You're right. Nick Chubb's injury looks pretty bad. So Jerome Ford looks to be the guy for at least obviously this year. And you got to think into next season. So there's some security there. And then if Jerome Ford balls out, throughout this season, then he's a massive trade piece.
I mean, this is what you have seconds for. This is what during the season, you buy these running backs that can help you for the rest of the season. So, yeah, I don't think he's the future or going to be really anything next season. They're easily, obviously, going to bring somebody in or draft somebody, whatever the case is going to be. But just look at it as a 1-year thing. You're spending a second-round pick, which is going to be a late second because you'll be contending, I'm guessing, if you're trying to buy Hunt here. So yeah, I'll do that. Itty bitty 14 team half PPR, Geno, Chase, Smith, DJ Moore, Dotson, Elijah Moore, Brees Hall, Najee, Kyron, Roshan, Ferguson, Juwan. Where should I look to upgrade? Where are we looking to upgrade, Hammer?
In a 14 team, I'm taking it. This is not super flex. So the fact that it's a 14 team, I think you can upgrade from Geno a little bit. I mean, I don't mind it considering that you have Chase, Devonta. DJ Moore is concerning because Justin Fields looks terrible. Maybe you look to upgrade that wide receiver 3 spot. Elijah Moore, not really doing it either so far. Deshaun Watson does not look good. So yeah, either Geno or wide receiver 3. Probably the wide receiver 3 a little bit more because I think Geno will be sufficient enough if you have Chase, Devonta, and then you add I don't know, Waddle or trying to think what else is out there. Garrett Wilson wouldn't be that bad. I think that's a buy low kind of guy. So that would be a nice addition. I think Garrett Wilson is going to be. I truly believe that if the Jets fall off the rails in the next 2 weeks, they're going to go out and look to get a veteran quarterback in there.
Yeah, we will. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, I think I'm with you. Maybe the wide receiver 3-4 spot. I think you're okay at RB. I mean, tight end, I'm fine with Ferguson. Just play him the rest of the season. Geno, possibly. I mean, it's a 14 team, so you're not in that bad shape. But I guess if there were places to improve, it would be either Geno or, that Dotson Moore. One of those slots there. I do still like Elijah Moore. I think he'll start coming along, but he's getting targets. Obviously, they're just not connecting. But
and I think it's deeper than that. Like that offense as a whole doesn't look good.
It's not flush. It's not fluid. Like everything is kind of just a little bit off almost. So But yeah, hopefully as the season goes on, I mean, that gets better. But we'll see. We'll see what happens within the coming weeks. It has been, first 2 weeks of the season, but we'll see. We'll see what changes here, if anything. Madden says, "What would I have to add to Ayuk to get a Higgins or a Wilson? Would a first be too much?" Yeah, I think a first would be too much, especially for Garrett Wilson right now, where he dropped obviously a ton, in value, obviously without Aaron Rodgers, but people are not trying to really get rid of him for the cheap. So realistically, I would say Ayuk in a first, go and get yourself Garrett Wilson.
I think I'd rather have T. Higgins at this point.
I don't know. I don't. Maybe it's not too much. Maybe I guess that is what it costs. But I guess I want to see what does your team look like for you to give up your first to go and get one of those guys? Is
True.
that the part that's worth it? I think is the biggest thing.
True. Yeah, man. I think roster construction matters a ton. So you always have to factor in those things as well. What does the rest of your roster look like? Are you a contender? Because if you're going to be, if that's a top 3 pick, then I don't think it's worth it.
I think you said it was super flex. How many starters is it as well? Just let me know how many starters it is, because that could be an impact as well. And are you a top team? Are you a middling team? What's your situation as well? What's your situation? Mr. Discount, that we said take the trade, take the Henry DK side. Take the Henry DK side.
Smash that, actually.
Yeah.
Quickly.
I have 2 seconds to trade. Yeah, I think we get that one. I don't. Maybe that showed up twice for some reason. But yeah, we got that one. One Nation, definitely give up that second. Here we go. Full PPR. I have Travis Kelce. Someone asked me who I would be willing to trade Kelce for. I told him CMC. He said no. I thought fair. I'm now not trading Kelce. Yeah, I mean, Kelce was a top 5 pick in redraft. So yeah, I mean, unless you're giving if you want me to give up Kelce, I need something that's going to help my team. So
a difference maker.
So yeah, right. I need CMC, bro.
You want a difference maker for sure.
Boba. We hit at least coming up twice now again. Boba. I think we both went Ridley there.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know if it's just coming up twice here.
We got
with Chubb out, thinking of dropping Dameon Pierce for Jerome Ford.
Ooh, that's a little spicy. It
is spicy. Yeah.
That's something to consider. I mean, Jerome Ford looked really good. And let's not forget, Jerome Ford has played before, and he's looked good when he's come in. Now, can he handle a Nick Chubb workload? That remains to be seen. So that'll be interesting to see play out. But Jerome Ford he's a hell of a running back, and we've seen him have games in the past where he's come in and done some damage. So that's a tough one for me, but I think I might do it. I know you hate Dameon Pierce.
Well, I don't like the value. I just think he's like a low end RB2. I mean, the team's not very good. He's it's just tough for him, and I think it's been that so far. I mean, what has he done so far this season?
A lot of nothing.
Pull him up.
A lot of nothing.
He's 11 for 38. I mean, 15 for 31. 6 points, 5 points. I mean, yeah, you're better off with probably Jerome Ford. Now, is he going to have some weeks that he does well? Yes, of course. But I think for the majority,
wait a minute,
it's just tough. Can you trade Dameon Pierce instead?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. And then that's actually a good point because Dameon Pierce is going to get some volume. So I think dropping Dameon Pierce might be a mistake in terms of even if you could get anything for him and then pick up Jerome Ford, because that's basically found gold, right? If you basically get Jerome Ford for free and you trade Dameon Pierce,
go get fucking Deontay Johnson. He's on IR right now, but when he comes back, he's going to be a wide receiver that you can play.
I don't mind it. Christian Watson's a good one. I know he's hurt. Yeah. But the way Jordan Love has looked, Christian Watson he's going to make a difference in a couple of these weeks coming up.
Derek everywhere. Yeah, Derek is everywhere. That's my homie. That's my roomie right there. It's my brother. Caddy said, would you trade Allen and Puka for Burrow and Chase? Oh,
I'm taking this as redraft.
yeah.
If it's redraft, I'm a little more hesitant. I think I still will do it. If it's dynasty, that's a smash.
It's got to be a redraft.
I mean, Burrow's that. See, the thing is, and I was watching Get Up this morning, and they were talking about that injury to Burrow being a concern all season. And if Burrow can't manipulate the pocket, and because we don't think about Burrow as a running quarterback, he can move. He's got some wheels. So if those wheels are compromised, it could be a disappointing season for Joe Burrow relative to his expectations. So take that into account for what you will. I don't think he's going to play Monday night, to be honest with you, against the Rams. I'd be hesitant to do this in redraft.
Yeah, it's a close one. It's a close one because how risky, do you want to get? Allen at least. Allen is going to be Allen, and Puka may downgrade to a wide receiver 2-ish.
But that's still fine, I think.
And would you rather have that instead of taking the chance and the upside of the Burrow Chase? So just depends how spicy you want to get. But
are you pulling the trigger?
I think I'll still take the Burrow Chase side. Because I think Burrow will be fine. I mean, we've seen him somewhat limited, still fucking be awesome. But I know it's different.
It is different. It's different, dude. That calf, I'm telling you, if what they're saying is accurate and that calf is a problem, it severely hampers their offense because he can't extend the play by manipulating the pocket, and that's where we've seen Chase be Chase when they can kind of ad-lib it and make those big plays. So redraft, I'm not taking it. Dynasty, I'm taking it.
Madden's past that thoughts on a tier down with Ayuk for Mingo and a pickup an extra 24. Yeah, if you can get Mingo in the first, I mean, I'll take the tier down if you need to, regroup or retool. Obviously if you're competing, you want Ayuk, but
I want something a little more than Mingo though.
If you're tearing down.
I want something.
If you get in the first, I mean, where's that first going to be? Is that a mid first? Is that an early first? Is that a late first? Like, where do you think that first is going to end up? I think that'll be that's an important thing too.
Yeah, good point.
So if that's an early first, then yeah, like I'll take Mingo in the early first. Give me that. If it's going to be late, I'm a lot more reluctant to do it. Like Hammer said, I probably want a little bit more than Mingo then. If it's going to be a late first. Bryce, what up, Bryce? Going back to the Chase and Algier trade, should I then Algier and Diggs in a trade for a high-end running back? I don't know. These running backs be getting hurt. I don't want to trade Diggs there. I want to keep Diggs. I don't want to trade Diggs. You can trade Algier and somebody else maybe. Bogey, what up, Bogey?
There he is. Yeah, I think you brought up a really good point where these running backs, man, they're risky out there. Eckler didn't play this past week. It's getting rugged out there. We're playing Josh Kelly and Jerome Ford. Like, did we ever think that 3 weeks ago?
Bro, this is why my most owned players are Jerome Ford and Keontae Ingram. It's so hard to take some of these, to take running backs. Like
I hear it.
The business circuit, what's up? 8-man full PPR, Mahomes, Eckler, Pollard, Garrett Wilson, Gabe Davis.
Whoa.
What?
Gabe Davis.
Waller, McLaurin, 2 cards. Folk benches Najee, Kirk, Deontay. I'm 0-2. What position should I upgrade? Well, you're 0-2.
Wide receiver.
So definitely got to make some moves. I mean, you can't have Gabe Davis
in an 8-man.
And in an 8-man league, you can't be playing Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is not startable in an 8-man league.
He did have a big week. Game. So go trade him right now. Go trade him. Trade
Perfect
Gabe
timing.
Davis, trade McLaurin, trade Tutu, and go get T. Higgins if you can.
I mean, you need to just trade everybody. So look at every team is going to be pretty good. I mean, you need to look at all the other teams and see what do those teams need, and then trade whoever the hell you need to trade to kind of shake shit up. But you definitely want to upgrade those wide receivers. So it's going to be hard to get off of Najee at the moment. I mean, Christian Kirk just had a good game.
Yeah,
So
you package Gabe Davis before Thursday's game starts, or really Sunday because Buffalo doesn't play but package Gabe Davis, package Tutu Atwell, guys that Gabe Davis had a really good game. Tutu Atwell's been playing really well. McLaurin had a big game. I actually don't mind McLaurin, but if you can package those three guys and go out and get Garrett Wilson's your wide receiver 1, which obviously we think he's a wide receiver 2 at this point. So you got to go get a wide receiver 1. Package pretty much anybody and go get yourself a wide receiver 1. Try and get Waddle if you can. Waddle hasn't had the greatest start to the season, production wise. It's been the cheetah show for the most part. Try and go get yourself. See if you can package Gabe Davis, McLaurin, and Tutu Atwell. A combination of those guys. And go get Jalen Waddle.
Agree with that. Should I trade one of my big RBs for 2 mid-tier wide receivers?
Not in an 8-man. 8-man, you're going for the big
No,
one.
I mean, I think I'd rather just keep Eckler and Pollard, take the advantage at those positions.
I like Eckler for this team because he's gonna make up for some of that receiving production. Pollard's very explosive. Pollard look really good. So I actually like that combination, that running back combination. Come off of some of these wide receivers that have had good games or good starts to the season and go get yourself Jalen Waddle. See, that's a target of mine. A guy that hasn't been fantastic. He's been okay, but not great. And I would go 3 for 1. I would give up Gabe Davis, McLaurin, and Tutu Atwell for Jalen Waddle right now.
If you could, for sure. And listen, if none of those things work, if nobody wants those wide receivers, it is an 8-man. I don't know who is going to want any of those guys really. So if you can't do anything, then you have no choice but to get rid of one of those running backs. If you need to. So yeah.
I think I'd rather give up.
You've got Kirk. You've got to start Kirk. It's got to be Garrett Wilson, Kirk. Like I'm guessing McLaurin and Tutu are starting as well. So it's got to be Garrett Wilson and Kirk, McLaurin, and Tutu for right now, I guess. So. Y'all think Cup will return week 5 after IR? McVay said he's hopeful. I got him around 5. Oh, that's really good value that you got him around 5. So, I mean, we're hoping that he comes back. I mean, it's just he's just an older player that it could linger on. He could re-aggravate it. So, it's a risk, but
this is such a sensitive subject for me.
But week 5, I mean week 5. But yeah, I mean, if he returns in week 5. You got him in round 5, so I mean, you basically the risk was almost baked in the price. So I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Cup is my guy, and I was really banking on him to kind of give me that low end wide receiver 1 production next to Chase, and listen, if he does come back week 5, then fine. I think he'll be really good when he comes back. The re-aggravation is what scares me. You know what I mean? So, and we know with these hamstrings and these calf muscles, and they said you could be walking around, be fine during the week, go out there, run a route, and that's the end of it. So it's definitely risky, but I do think Cup comes back at some point because I do think the Rams are going to be competitive. I don't think they'll be great, but I think they'll be competitive. And if Stafford's out there slinging it, you got to think Cup is going to want a piece of that action.
Yeah, that's true. Bogey said, take a look at Ford's schedule coming out. It's terrible against the run, starting off with Tennessee this week.
Well, Pittsburgh is a good front, and Ford did pretty good against that Pittsburgh defense. So that, the thing that does scare me with that Cleveland offense is how bad the passing game looks. So there is some correlation there, but you got to believe Jerome Ford's going to get the work, and he seemed to play well. You know, Pittsburgh isn't a pushover defense, so take that for what it's worth.
I think we're more so just banking on the volume. You know, it's more of the, you know, of the volume play there. Are you playing Jerome Ford over, like, you know, top 10, top 12 running backs? Like, probably not. But, you know, most people who don't have anything, you got no choice but to play Ford, and you
I'm
know,
playing Jerome Ford over
or you
AJ
use him
Dillon.
to trade, or you use him to trade, take advantage of the hype and come off of him and go and get something else. So, which wide receiver are you trading to acquire Puka? In Dynasty, probably anybody worth like a second round pick, maybe a second and a third.
See, the problem is now his value is so high. People are going to ask. People are going to overprice him. So that's the problem with trying to go out and acquire a guy that's really hot right now. And you got to imagine Cup is not going to be back for at least another 2 weeks, another 2 games, so 3 weeks. So we know there's going to be built-in production there. So it's going to be tough. People are going to overcharge for him, and that's kind of the way it is. So I don't know if I'm going to necessarily go out and try to acquire him right now, but you can see what's out there, see what people are willing to take. You said second round value. That seems.
I mean, that's
really
kind of where he's
first.
not worth he's not really worth a first at the moment. I mean, unless you know, want to go with the hype, but you know, it's tough because we know that Matt Stafford is getting up there in age, and how much longer is Matt Stafford going to be there? Because we know, you know, that the quarterback obviously matters a ton. You know, so. I think that's the other part, is looking a little bit longer than, you know, looking a little bit longer term, you know, when Stafford's not there and when that part happens. So just taking all into consideration, I say he's worth a second round pick pretty much. You know, maybe a second and a third. I mean, some people are willing to pay that, but I told everybody, if you know, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. But I told everybody in my rookie, when I was talking about all the rookies, Puka, grab him in the 4th round. It's the easiest 4th round pick that you can ever make in a rookie draft. You grab Puka everywhere that you can in the 4th round. This was before like all the hype of all the offseason and all that. And even still, you could have got him in late 3rd, 4th round at that point. And now, you know, you can use him to sell, or you can use him obviously on your team. So, you know, make sure you guys go and just, you know, watch the videos because there's a lot of good info on all those. Jerome Ford, you know, is on the video I published after the season last year on my stash videos. Jerome Ford, Nico Collins. I mean, these guys were all there, and they were cheap as shit at that time. And look at what they're costing now. Don't drop Pierce. Yeah, I'm not dropping. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not dropping necessarily Pierce for him. It might be a good idea, but because I just don't like Pierce. But you should. There's got to be somebody else on your team that you can drop. Ace, what up, Ace? Yes, sir. Stevie B, that's my bro. Yeah. Kidda traded Waddle to acquire Puka in Dynasty. So he did the opposite. We were talking about before, selling Puka to get Waddle, and Kidda went and sold Waddle to get Puka.
Kidda, I gotta ask, why did you do that?
Well, I think that if you just think Puka is the better player and you just want Puka on your team, you know, then fine. But when you're just talking about like dynasty value, just in general, like you probably could have got a lot more than just. I mean, you probably could have got a lot more than just Puka if you asked. Being where Waddle is and what he's done so far in his first, you know,
and what we know he can do, and Tua's playing like an absolute MVP. And if Tua continues on this trajectory, Waddle is going to break out.
I would say if you wanted to do that, you probably got to do it right. You know, give me a first with fucking.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know, give me a first with it. Start there and kind of build from there. You know, just more of the value part of it. But I don't mind that you did it. I would have just tried to get more value, take a little advantage. Waddle was a cheap pickup. I drafted him 2nd round in his rookie season. Yeah, I mean,
his
don't
value what he is now.
that's the good part of it, is that you got him for cheap because you were smart about it. You did the right thing, right? You picked him up second round in the rookie season, and now look at what he's actually worth in the dynasty community. So you got to just try and take advantage, right? Try and take advantage of that value. Second round pick, yeah.
So that's an increasing asset. So you want to cash that in.
Mark said, "Let's get that game going." He sees me over here. Cam, what's up, Cam? Rank these for week 3: Puka, Waddle, Nico, Cooper, Flowers, and Tutu. I'll let you take this while I spark this up.
All right, let me check out some schedules here. So Puka, the Rams, they play Monday night versus the Bengals. Okay. I do like that. The Dolphins play. Where are the Dolphins at? Dolphins play home against Denver. Houston plays at Jacksonville. Browns home against Tennessee. Ravens home versus the Colts for Flowers. And then 2 same game Monday night. I'll go from, man, all these guys have been pretty damn good, to be honest with you. It's kind of hard to split. I think for week 3, obviously, if you're talking rest of the season, it's easier to put these guys into their proper context because of situations. But for week 3, man, you got to believe Puka's got to be at least 2. I think I like Waddle 1. I think I'm going Nico 3, Flowers 4, Tutu 5, and Amari Cooper 6. And the only reason why I say Amari Cooper last is because that offense looks really bad. And Amari Cooper really didn't get going until the second half of that game. I need to see some more consistency from that Browns offense. So that's my rankings for the week. It's kind of tough, but try to put that together. So I went Waddle, Puka, Nico, Flowers, Tutu, Cooper.
Is Tutu playing?
Bengals. Same game as Puka. Monday night.
So I'm going almost like, I guess the first 3 are kind of in order for me. It's Puka, Waddle, and Nico for me.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go with who's Cooper playing?
Browns are playing home against Tennessee.
Okay. And Ravens
home against the Colts.
Flowers, Cooper, Tutu.
Okay.
Puka, Waddle, Nico, Flowers, Cooper, Tutu. I know Tutu's been fire, but
yes, he has.
Maybe you could switch Cooper and Tutu. It flip-flop it either way you want it, but those are going to be my last 2. Will be my last 2. Silky said I sent Goff and St. Brown for Stevenson and Chase since Monty went down and Madison is ass.
Silky, you're right on the button with that last statement. Madison is ass. St. Brown dealing with turf toe. Jared Goff's been pretty good. I'm guessing if this is a 1-quarterback league, is this a super flex, 1 quarterback?
It's gotta be super flex, I think.
Okay.
Redraft. He said redraft. Yeah, redraft full PPR. Yeah, I'll take Stevenson and Chase.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as well.
I'll take it. Marty, what do you see in Jalen Tolbert Dynasty future? Maybe when Cooks is gone. Yeah, I mean,
he made some. He was out there, and I took notice of Jalen Tolbert when he was out there because I actually was trying to get him in our last rookie draft. But I don't know, man. I don't know if he's a real player. I don't think he has much value because if they really thought highly of him, they wouldn't have went out and got Brandon Cooks. They would have let Tolbert kind of slide in and be that dude. So that's kind of just my feelings on Tolbert.
I mean, he's droppable. If you have the roster space, then he's just a hold for now, and just hope that hope that something happens. It might have to take injury or something for something to happen. I don't know if he just can jump up to like that number 2 spot. Could he eventually? I mean, maybe, possibly. So just hold on to him for now. But he's a guy that I'd easily trade for a second if I can't get maybe even a third.
I don't
Honestly,
think he's worth a second. I don't
no,
think
no,
he's
he's
worth a
definitely not worth
second.
it. He's definitely not worth a second unless you've got like a a Cowboy fan that'll take him. But Tutu has low key wide receiver 3 trade value, not getting anything great. No, he doesn't have great. He doesn't have great trade value, especially if Cup comes back. I mean, obviously Tutu's going to sit down, but if you can trade him, then you trade him. I mean, he's been doing good so far. People want points. He's an add-on. He would be an add-on, not like the main guy, right? He's a guy that you just add in on the trade to like tack on top, and it's like, oh, okay, Tutu's been good. All right, you know what? I'll take the deal.
Agree.
uh, Bryce, going back one more time to the Chase trade. My running backs are Ramondre and James Conner and Ford. So my RBs would be Algier, Conner, and Ford. Would I still be giving up? I still be okay giving up Ramondre.
I think to get Chase, I think I'm still okay with that if you're getting Jamar Chase. I mean, remember these running backs.
DK and Ramondre for Chase and Algier it was.
Yeah, I'm still okay with that
Yeah, I'll still
because
take Chase.
because these running backs we've seen they get hurt. They get hurt. So go give me Chase, and then I could figure out the running back situation if I need to.
Yeah, said Tutu, Gabe, and McLaurin could get you Lockett. Yeah, I'll take Lockett. I'll
I
take
don't mind
Lockett.
that.
Pick 2, Ford, Moss, Gibbs.
Sit down, Moss.
Well, I think the biggest thing with Moss is, what does JT come back, right? Even if it's for those 6 games that you'll be, at Ford is at least he'll get played for the rest of the season. Where Moss maybe he doesn't if JT comes back, but maybe JT doesn't come back, and maybe Moss is then the guy. So I think as of right now, I'll take Gibbs and Ford, but that could change within the next few weeks. You never know.
For sure.
Pick up Ford or Moss. I think we kind of just answered that with the question right before.
Yeah, we're
You
going
got
Jerome
anything
Ford. Listen
Yeah.
to this. On Sleeper, Jerome Ford has 5.7 million pickups. The next closest guy is Matt Breida with 1.3 million.
That's crazy. Well, everybody has
Wild.
But he's one of those running backs that has to be rostered. He should have been rostered
to begin with
in
in deeper
redraft
leagues
just because he's the backup to Chubb. Like,
Yeah.
those are the guys that you want to have, on your bench. Do you think Kyron Williams would do better than Mixon or Ken Walker this week?
Ooh, okay. So we know Kyron Williams is playing Monday night versus the Bengals. So that's the same game as Mixon. And then Seattle is playing home to Carolina. Kenneth Walker was pretty damn good, man. I think I'm taking Ken Walker here.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Ken Walker here as well. Peacock, what up, Peacock? What up, brother? I trade Puka for a first so fast. Yeah, absolutely. There's people out there that are gonna be doing it. But is Puka that lightning in the bottle, that outlier, right? I mean, he could be that outlier, but for every outlier, there's 100 of those guys that fail. So, you take the percentage and you just take the win. If you got him in the 4th round, if you can get a second, maybe you take the second, or maybe just hold him for now if you want to. I mean, you only spent the 4th, so it's worth it just to hold him and see what and see what happens. So, oh wow, Ace traded Chubb 3 days ago. That's crazy.
Ooh. And Chubb isn't normally a guy that people are just trading away. So what'd you get for Chubb?
I've owned Wild since his rookie season. He ain't shit. Wide receiver 13 and wide receiver 8, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how that ain't shit, but
hold on. Jalen Waddle has had 3,000 yards in his first 2 seasons. Where do you 2,300 yards in his first 2 seasons, and 14 touchdowns.
It's at 1.01 confirmed. Oh God.
179 grabs.
Yeah. What did you say? Don't like losing? Oh yeah. Gotta make moves like these to actually get the ship. I mean, if you want to take Puka instead of Waddle, then by all means, you go ahead and do it. Like I said, if you just like Puka more, then that's fine. But I think the biggest thing for me is that there was no strategy behind it. It's just you just want that player over the other player instead of using the strategy and taking advantage of what Waddle's value is. And what Puka's value is, and getting more, for giving up Waddle. I think that's the only thing I disagree with. I'm fine if you just want Puka over Waddle, but you take advantage of the market. Should I trade Debo and Moss for Puka? 8-man PPR, deep at running back with McCaffrey, Henry, White. Need a better wide receiver. Yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it. I'll give me the upside. What do you think, Hammer? Go for it.
I'm a little reluctant, but I would lean. This is like a 51-49 thing because Debo still has upside, as we've seen. He's not going to get it to you every single week. He's not going to give you 20 plus every single week like he did a couple of years ago. So there is some good upside with Moss and Nakua for this season anyway. You're taking Puka over Debo for the entire season? Or you don't think there'll be that much of a difference?
I think the biggest thing in this question is the situation and the format. It's an 8-man PPR league. So we need absolute hammers. Is Debo good? Absolutely. But I want to chase the upside of Puka and that wide receiver 1 status, especially if Kupp doesn't come back. And at worst, Puka, at least for me, at worst, if Kupp comes back, Puka is Debo.
Okay.
And Moss,
I'm here for it.
Like Moss is whatever. It's 8-man, so Moss doesn't really mean much. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
I'm searching because I think the biggest X factor in this is Kupp, right? If Kupp comes back, can Puka be Debo? I think the jury's still out on that, so that obviously remains to be seen. But yeah,
how much worse do you think Puka is going to be than Debo, even if Kupp comes back?
I think Debo's in the 20 range. Puka is, especially in a PPR. I think Puka does give you higher upside because he's probably gonna, even when Kupp comes back, you got to think Puka's gonna get 8-ish targets a game.
Yeah, I think I'm just kind of going for the upside and saying fuck it in the 8-man. Like, let's go for the gusto. Kidda says Puka's injury history is on par with Waddle, but Puka gets heavy volume and could only get better with touchdowns in the future. I mean, I'm with you, but again, it's more of the future type shit. I mean, what's happening with Stafford? Like, what happens after that? Like, is Puka going to still be able to put up those kind of numbers? Waddle, like, we're seeing what he's doing already. He's the more proven guy. Can Puka do it? Absolutely. I mean, there's no denying that, but I just feel much safer with Waddle because you're hoping Puka is Waddle. You're hoping Puka turns into Waddle and has 2 top 13 seasons. That's what we're hoping. Waddle's already that. So I just feel like I'd rather just have that. You know what I mean?
And does Waddle have another year with Tua fully healthy and playing like an MVP?
Another as well. And then what happens when Cheetah goes and now Waddle's the number 1 guy?
And we've seen Waddle be before Cheetah got there. Waddle was 100 grabs for 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 touchdowns.
Well, I think that's kind of the mindset that at least I'm looking at. Do you have anything else to add to that or?
Nah, listen, the thing that separates it is the quarterback situation, right? Like you have to factor that in, especially if we're talking dynasty here, which we are. The quarterback situation is definitely a factor. And, we talk about Tua's health situation. Tua's a lot younger than Matthew Stafford, right? Matthew Stafford's older. He obviously was banged up last year. So you got to imagine that Waddle and Tua will be a lot longer than Puka and Stafford. I guess that would be kind of like where I separate the two.
Well, I mean, look at Nico Collins. I mean, he was always good. They just didn't have a quarterback who can really throw the ball. Now you've got somebody who's pretty accurate, can throw the ball, and look what he's doing now. I mean, to be fair, I don't expect Stroud to throw the ball 47 times a game, but
they're down a lot.
But they're down, so he is going to throw the ball a lot. So, Nico over Flowers.
Ooh, yeah, I'm taking Nico Collins here. At this juncture.
Yeah, this is close.
This is very close.
That's real close. I think I'll take Nico as well. Flowers is definitely a buy. Absolutely. Is a buy. I'm trying to buy Flowers all day. I'll spend the first on him, late first easily. Maybe you got to add a little something on top of that.
OB,
to make it
from
work,
what I've
OBJ's
seen
hurt already.
Boom. And I was gonna say, from what I've seen the first 2 weeks, OBJ and Rashad Bateman are not a threat to Zay Flowers being amazing. So there you go.
One QB Hurts, Mixon, Steven. Did I miss this? Was this part of another question?
I think he was giving us his the rest of his lineup.
Can't see it. What, bro? Y'all streaming all day? Respect. Yeah. Well, this is our. We haven't been streaming all day. Huss and Bogey have been streaming all day. We've been on for I guess 10 o'clock. So we usually put in 2 hours or so, or whenever the chat dies down. We're usually just chilling. But appreciate you. What? Marty, what's up? I'm trying to get Pukas for Flower. Super said, just traded away Miles Sanders and Olave for Chase. What do you think? Now I have Gibbs, James, Cook, Diggs, CD, and Chase.
Yeah,
Miles Sanders and Olave.
Give me all of that. Give me all of that.
Perfect. I love it. Awesome move, Super. Buying out don't matter. Highlight. Yeah, absolutely.
There's no arguments there. Flowers looks like he's a dude.
Here we go. Hurts, Mixon, Stevenson, Chase, AJ, Flex, Waddle. Bench, Terry, Monty, Perrine, Hollywood. Stupid hometown league has tight end, kicker, and defense position.
Yeah, we have those two. I was actually thinking about getting rid of my defense and kicker. I like tight end, so I'm going to keep tight end.
Defense and kicker.
I think I'm going to get rid of defense and kicker next year and just make that a flex.
I mean, the only thing about defense and kicker is that that's just the way that it was.
It's volatile.
Played. It's just the original fantasy football.
The OG.
Fucking shit happens. Justin Tucker will put 25 on your head.
A crazy defense.
The Cowboys defense will put 40 on you. I mean,
that's a Pittsburgh defense yesterday went nuts. Yeah, it's the great equalizer in those hometown leagues as those kickers and defense.
What trades we making with this roster? Hammer 1-1 through 2 weeks, most points, 12-team PPR, Mack and Carr, Tyreek, Waddle, Kyron, Sanders, Keenan, Pitts, Nico and Flowers on the bench with Puka, Akers, IR, DJ. Who's DJ IR? And who's on IR DJ?
I don't know. I don't know what DJ on IR. Deion Jackson.
I don't know. What are we doing here?
Well, if you have the most points, you're doing something right. Obviously, Mac Jones and Derek Carr. That's not doing it for me. Now, Mac Jones has been pretty good. Derek Carr's been ass, and I fully came over to the Derek Carr's ass camp. So I'm fully in that camp. Cheetah and Waddle, that's an interesting.
Deontay Johnson. Okay.
Oh, Deontay.
Okay. I like Deontay. You just hold him for now. He's not. You can't really trade him for much.
Yeah. Man, you got a really good bench, especially in a 12-team PPR. Like, you got Nico, Flowers, and Puka on your bench. Can we cash that in? Maybe attach one of those guys to Keenan and get another just monster wide receiver.
We got Tyreek and Waddle already. We got Kyron and Sanders.
Maybe
Or can we
upgrade
upgrade
RB.
or can we upgrade from Sanders maybe? Akers, you got no choice but to hold, but you got Puka, and people are wanting Puka, so you can either
Nico.
hold them or use them to trade. Nico, Flowers, any combination of these guys. I would say pick who you want. You know, the more Keenan Allen is a tough one because I really, really like Keenan Allen. My
And he's
only
balling
concern is
right
that
now.
if he gets injured, but you know, it's bad to think that way. But that's
But
what
history
kind of
has told us.
it's always kind of the concern, especially last year with the hammy. But I would say pick two guys that you like, and the rest fucking use them as trade. So
Yeah, I agree. So if you had to trade two of those four, Keenan, Nico, Flowers, and Puka, which two are you shipping out?
I'm probably shipping out. Probably shipping out.
I think I'm shipping out Keenan and Puka because I think Nico and Flowers have a little bit more staying power with their respective
I
teams.
think I'm shipping out Flowers, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I mean, because I know they do want to get him the ball, but you know, Andrews is there. I know OBJ is kind of hurt a little bit, so that makes it, you know.
Nothing.
But can you take advantage of some of that, you know, extra hype on Flowers, maybe? Because I don't mind keeping Nico. Like, who's gonna, you know, depending on your league, who's
like
gonna
Nico.
be wanted more? It's gonna be Nico. Is it gonna be Flowers? Like, doesn't matter who it is, but whoever you can get, you want to get for, give up whatever you need to. So, but yeah, if I had to pick two to keep, you said, or two to give up?
I guess same thing, same difference, right?
Well, yeah, I guess. I think I want to keep Keenan. I know he's old and he's an older guy, but I think he's going to be really solid through the season. I'm hoping he can make it through it, depending on your risk.
The volume scares me though. He's getting massive volume right now, so that just, you know, 19 targets in 2 games. Whew. I think I'm cashing that chip in. 31 years old.
Yeah,
I'm cashing that.
you could. All right, so it just depends who you can get, who that guy wants. You could give up Keenan and Nico or Keenan and Flowers, and then roll with you know, Puka, Nico or Flowers, and whatever the other guy you get. So let's roll with that. You need a QB. You need a QB. What? Or you get a QB with those guys.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is super flex or one QB. It's got to be super flex. I guess you got Mac and Carr, or is it one QB and you waited on QB and these are the guys that you have right now?
Yeah, the QB thing. Mac Jones actually looks better. Like if Mac Jones is your super flex, I'm okay with that, but not Mac and Carr. Like if you had Josh Allen and Mac Jones, I'd be fine with that.
Well, depending who you can get at wide receiver, maybe you just go hammer, you know, Tyreek, Waddle, and what other stacked wide receiver you get. I mean, you'd have to search around for a QB, but in one QB it might be hard. So depending who you can get, pick a route. Waddle has 80 yards in each 2 games, nowhere near his ceiling. Yeah, even with Waddle like not doing crazy well, he's still getting 80 yards. Like, you know,
that feels like the floor. That feels like the floor.
That's the thing. If that's the floor, if that's what I'm getting at the floor, like, you know, the boom games are going to come. So Ace said Burrow, Devontae, Amon-Ra, and Gibbs. I traded away T-Law, McLaurin, Olave, and Chubb. Burrow, Adams, Amon-Ra, and Gibbs, T-Law, McLaurin, Olave, and Chubb. Yeah, I'll take that. Chubb is hurt now too, so that worked out, right?
Yeah. So you basically got 4 for 3. I mean, Burrow is banged up. Amon-Ra is banged up. Devontae. What are you trading to get, Waddle? Puka.
Exactly.
Too soon? Sorry.
Oh, exactly.
To get Waddle, it's going to cost a lot. And as you said, in the Dynasty, world, Waddle is valued very high. 2 first-round picks.
Future picks don't help me win. Okay, so you don't want picks. If you don't want picks, can you tier down to can you tier down to Ayuk in the pick? Can you tier down to Garrett Wilson in the pick? Now that that whole situation happened, can you tier down to, if you like George Pickens, T. Higgins?
Yeah, it's going to be
DK. Depending how far you want to tier down any of those guys plus. Well, hell no with the Ayuk injury. That's the tiering. It's just a tiering down process. If we're talking dynasty, then the injury is not really that much of a concern. It's more of just tearing down, gaining assets on top of it, if you can. What was it? Hit that like button, you beeholes. Yeah, appreciate everybody in here. Smash the like for us, guys. Smash that subscribe if you haven't already. Mike Williams or Godwin? Who's better?
I think it's Godwin.
Yeah, Godwin is definitely like better in general. If you're talking about for this season, I mean, even still, maybe you do go God. I mean, Mike Williams is tough. Does he stay healthy? Like, I mean, if he stays healthy, I really like Mike Williams this year, but I have Brown too. Okay. You trade Burks for Puka.
Yes.
Yeah, you could trade Burks for Puka. They're kind of basically in the same range.
I'm not a fan of Burks.
Like second round picks worth basically right now. But yeah, give me Puka, especially right now with all the hype. Because you could take advantage of Puka. Even if you don't want to keep him, use him to tier up, use him to fix something else that you need on your team.
Yeah, Treylon Burks has such limited upside that Puka is definitely worth it.
Mike Williams or Pittman?
Michael Pittman's better.
Yep. Marty said, Stevie, I must thank you for putting me on to Puka. Got him in like the 40th round in a Hustler Dynasty, one of those post-draft vids you did. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Puka looked good. Puka looked good from the NFL Combine. When I did my Combine video and went over the wide receivers, Puka is a guy that I said, for some reason, I just kept putting my eyes on him. I don't know why. He didn't do anything particularly great, but there was just something about him. There's just the smoothness, just the way he was able to do things. And again, it was nothing special, but just something I just kept going to Puka for whatever reason.
Call it what you want, but for him to go to the Rams, right? For Kupp to be out to open up that target share, right? So there's a lot of things that go into it. So a hell of a find if you got him on your team, especially for the value, as we like to talk about. The value is definitely there. So once again, found gold.
Absolutely. Dropped Hollywood, let him be someone else's headache.
I don't know. Hollywood hasn't been crazy terrible. Bad. No, right. I have him in our home league, and he hasn't been terrible. And Josh Dobbs isn't a complete pushover that we kind of thought train wreck that would be. So through 2 games, he has not great, but not bad. 9 catches on 15 targets and a touchdown. Through 2 games, you could do a lot worse than that.
I guess depending how deep your league is, right? I mean, if your league is deep enough where Hollywood's just going to sit on the bench, you're never going to play him, then, fine. So, Foot Legends, what up, bro? Pick 2, Mostert, Pierce, Cook, or Moss?
I'm taking this as James Cook. That is absolutely. I think so. We're going with James Cook for sure. And fire up Mostert.
Yeah, I think every single week you're playing Mostert and Cook, and you're not looking back. Just play Mostert and Cook every single week, unless it's bye week or one of those guys get injured. I'm not playing Pierce or Moss over them on any week. I don't care what defense they're going against.
That's fantastic.
Realistically, those are the best 2 guys. They have the most upside. I don't care. I'm playing those guys every week, and I'm not changing it. Oh, we said Dalvin. Fuck, bro, you ruined it. God damn it.
That just took the zing out of that analysis.
All right, who are the Texans playing this week?
God, Houston is playing at Jacksonville. Colts playing Ravens. We don't know if Anthony Richardson's going to play. That's not good.
Well, Mostert is a lock. Mostert is a lock.
Yes, agreed.
So in that case, it's either going to be Pierce or Moss. And I don't know if there's anybody else on the team that's getting anything other than Moss. So who's Pierce playing, you said again?
Pierce is at Jacksonville.
At Jacksonville.
It's a 50-50.
Give me Moss. I was wrong on Moss last week. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it again. I don't like him and I don't trust him, but I like him more than Pierce or Cook. So.
Yeah. What did Moss get? 18 carries. Got almost 5 yards a carry. Yeah. Got to be Moss here.
Mm-hmm. Mack and Carr, while you're rolling with them, get a better QB. Yeah, if you could. I think we were still waiting to see if that was one QB or super flex because
that's if it's super flex,
that's gonna matter as well. One QB is gonna be very hard for you to get one probably. Keenan and Nico, yeah. Flowers for a better tight end. You can do that. You can do that too. But
how much better of a tight end, right? Are we talking?
Unless it's again, we say
Kelsey
the same thing
Andrews?
all the time. Unless it's Andrews, unless it's Kelsey, unless it's Hawkinson, then it doesn't matter. Just take anybody at that point. So if you're gonna improve at tight end, it's got to be one of those three guys, and I don't think anybody's giving those guys up right now, unless they've got some injuries where they need to fill holes somewhere. So. Geno Stroud, I'm ready to stream. Yeah, just fuck yeah. You kidding me? Geno's better than those other guys.
Yeah, he is.
I'm rolling with that. Or you could roll with Stroud. This guy's throwing the ball 47 times a game now.
This is a hot take from me. Stroud is better than Bryce Young.
Yeah, as of right now, I mean, for sure. For sure. I thought the situation was going to be better on the Panthers, but it's actually not. Like the Texans have a bunch of pretty good wide receivers that can play, and the Panthers do not have that. So
no, Panthers have Adam Thielen.
Yeah, Geno or Cousins will be better. Yeah, absolutely. If you can get one of those guys, if Geno's out there, you absolutely have to get Geno.
I think Cousins is probably
Waddle for Mahomes and a solid tight end. You Waddle for Mahomes. You can get Mahomes and a tight end. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know what that is, but Heat Lifer, what's up, man? Appreciate you tuning in. Mahomes owner has Jalen Hurts and he's 0-2. Okay, so he's just trying to give up things. And yeah, bro, come on. You know what to do then. You didn't throw that out there at first. I mean, yeah, if you can get fucking Mahomes for Waddle, I mean, yeah, give me Patrick Mahomes. Absolutely, man.
Anytime.
I'm going 51 fab. What'd you say, Hammer?
Anytime it's Mahomes, the answer is yes.
I'm going 51 fab for Ford. Is that too crazy? I don't know. How much fab do you have? I mean, typically you'd want to put like 30, maybe 40% down. Like, anything more than that is tough. But
he said he's hurting.
Ford, what?
He said he's hurting all over the place, so Ford can help you.
Yeah, if you're hurting and you need Ford for the rest of the season, then do it. Again, he's a guy that's going to get volume. Is he going to produce every single week? Maybe not. Maybe he is, but he's going to be worth a pickup. So running backs are Bijan, you got it. Bijan and Sanders. Okay, Gus and Warren. Yeah, you definitely need some Ford. I'd like to have him in there as well. So this way you got Bijan, Sanders, and Ford. I mean, Gus is going to be tough. Warren, unless Najee goes down. That Steelers fucking line is trash. No. Oh my God. They've got to run through. You have to get 5 yards just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I mean, it's so bad.
Did you see So all I needed yesterday towards the tail end of that game was a Najee touchdown to win in the subscriber league, which I'm 0-2, by the way, and my team is pretty pathetic, but that's besides the point.
Wait, you're 0-2
Watching,
in the subscriber league?
yeah, it's pretty bad.
It happens.
I had a good week
Still
against
time.
you. You just had a million points, but
Well, that's kind of what happened to me this week. I put up a ton of points and I lost because dude put up like 200 on me.
but yeah, that Steelers O-line was bad. I was watching that game because I needed Najee to do well, and he had like 6 carries for 5 yards at one point. It was fucking horrendous.
It's just tough because when you actually like watch it, like it's not like I just feel like it's not like Najee's that bad. Like, but this dude's got to break 3 tackles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Like it's pretty bad. And then you get Warren getting these wide open looks on the catches and and doing his thing. So it's just tough. Like Warren's got the third down work, and then Najee is is the early down guy, which I'm okay with. But the problem is that they can't move the ball, so it's not even an efficient like offense at all. So it's fucked right now. Who should I pick off the waiver wire, Ford or Hunt Ford? You're not, yeah. If you have to choose one of them, it's got to be Ford, right? Annoyingly on their shit. The league is stupid. Yeah. It's a short bench. Mahomes at QB and Kittle at tight end. Oh, my bad. Hold on. I missed all this. Okay, yeah, this is the ones. His wide receivers are Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Judy, Tony, and Cooks. Bijan Sanders, Gus, and Warren. Mahomes and Kittle.
Yeah, that wide receiver room needs upgrading. It looked good before the season. It doesn't look great now.
What if you pick up Ford and use him and one of these wide receivers to tier up at wide receiver?
I mean, that's going to be tough because DJ Moore has not played well. Jerry Jeudy, coming off the injury, didn't have a great game. Kadarius Toney, while he had a decent game, it wasn't anything. And Brandon Cooks got hurt. So you might have to wait for one of those guys to pop off, but definitely pick up Ford. And you might have to wait till Jerry Jeudy, goes 6 for 90 and a touchdown, or DJ Moore,
Well, DJ Moore had a good game last game, so you can try and capitalize off that real quick.
Yeah, but but the Justin Fields, I guess.
Yeah, but people go crazy. People went crazy for DJ Moore this offseason. So,
I guess.
there might be a GM in your league that really likes DJ Moore. So, oh, we did that one already. My bad. Trade Puka. I mean, it depends on your situation. Do you need to trade Puka? Otherwise, I'd hold him. But if you can trade him and get something good like a Waddle, then yeah. Should I drop Quentin Johnson to pick up Tank Dell? Tank Dell did have 9 targets. He is a good pickup.
I don't think I'm doing that, and the only reason why I say that is because I do think Quentin Johnson is going to get his opportunity to shine sooner rather than later. Would that be week 6, week 7, week 8? I don't think Keenan Allen can sustain 10 targets a game, and stay healthy over that. Mike Williams as well. I wouldn't overreact to the Tank Dell stuff. Nico Collins is really good. Robert Woods has had a little bit of a resurgence this year. I'm not going to overreact to Tank Dell. I think he can be productive in spots, but I'm not going to overreact to Tank Dell having a nice game.
I mean, I like both of those guys, but more towards the end of the season. If you're talking about right now, then yeah, give me Tank Dell. If you're worried about right now, if you're talking about over the course of the season, then maybe that's a conversation. But as of right now, Tank Dell is a guy that's playing and getting reps and targets, and Quentin Johnson isn't. So depends if you want for right now or not, and who you like better. We don't play fantasy for not bad. Are you starting Gus or Justice next week? I mean, you have to start Gus, right? After what he did last week. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Justice had the good game when JK went down. I think it can go back and forth, to be honest with you. I don't, Gus Edwards only had 10 carries. So Is that going to lead to 6 yards a clip every time and a touchdown? I don't know if I have full confidence in that. I think you go Gus to start, but if you got better options, try and explore that.
Yeah, if it's between just those two guys, it's got to be Gus at the moment, right?
I guess I don't like either one of those guys.
Of course. Ace said Michael Thomas, Puka, or Nakua for the flex.
So Puka and Nakua are the same player.
I think we missed one. Do you see it out there? Marty said take that. That's right. I played Marty this week. He gave me the goods this week. I was giving the goods last week to Hammer. But yeah,
You
this week,
shut your mouth.
wasn't it? This week wasn't it? And I lost big parts of my squad, like Aaron Rodgers, fucking
Rule number 76.
AK.
No
Shit
excuses.
hurt.
Play like a champion.
Shit hurt. Ride Mostert till the wheels fall off. Yeah, you got to ride Mostert till the wheels fall off. I'm with that.
We're doing that.
Just Dre, I'm trying to trade for CD. That's going to be fucking tough, man. Or for Tank Dell, Joshua Kelly, and D Hop. No, that's not fair.
No, not even close.
I would decline that in a heartbeat and would probably never open another trade offer you ever send me again.
You get blacklisted? Just blocked.
But no, I mean, is that fair? I mean, is this a start 12, start 13? No, it's probably a start 8, start 7, like most redraft leagues. I mean, Tank Dell, Joshua Kelly, D Hop, unless that guy has Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor, and they need players. Like, no, that doesn't even still. It just would you, if you had CeeDee Lamb, would you accept that trade? Sometimes you just got to think about it in that sense. Like, okay, would I accept this trade if I had CD? Like, no.
Fuck no.
I still have Puka, Ridley, Flowers.
You're gonna have to give up some of those guys.
Addison, yeah. If you want CD, you got to give up Puka. You got to give
Ridley.
up Ridley. Like, you got to give up
Addison.
one of those guys. So,
Yeah.
Realistically, a Kelsey, if you want to come off of Kelsey, Ridley and Flowers, Ridley and Puka, it might take. I mean, I might take both of those guys to get a guy like that. So those are just some ideas. Aiden, what's up? Would you guys be down to check out my team? Tell me what to do. Every good player on my team literally got injured. Named my team all ham, no strings, and I'm dead last.
You know what, Aiden? That is a fantastic name for your team because these hamstrings are pissing me off. I think Marty pointed it out earlier. It's bullshit.
Just throw it out there. Throw it out there, Aiden. Sim said Madison or London at the flex.
London. Thank you.
Yeah. Gonna be London. Diaz, what up, Diaz? 12 team, start 10 PPR, no tight end premium. Jacobs and Noobs for Sean Tucker, Mingo, a late 2024 first, 3 24 thirds, 2 are likely early. Moss is my RB1. Don't have my own first, so I'm kind of pot committed. Not liking Jacobs. So you're giving up Jacobs and Doobs, and you're getting Tucker, Mingo. Yeah, hell yeah. Give me the package. Give me the package. I don't know about Hammer, but give me the package.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Jacobs is on my home league, and I'm having patience with Jacobs. I think I will try and trade him when he starts going off because I think he will accrue some more value, but Tucker, Mingo, it's not doing anything for me.
What is Jacobs doing?
What will he do is the question. Nah, I'm holding on to Jacobs and Dukes for now because I think Jacobs' value will increase.
I'm okay with the package and kind of just keep moving from there. Now, what can I do with the late first? What can I do with Mingo? Can I turn the 2/3 into a second maybe? Can I buy some backup RBs? not having your own first kind of sucks, but at least now you get a first. You know, especially if you're looking to make this trade, I think you think yourself that there's a possibility you don't win it. So, just trying to get something out of it, I think, and having that first to play with, you know. But yeah, all right, give me the package. Hammer says keep Jacobs. Blake, should I start Fields or Goff?
Ooh, that's interesting. I like that. Oh boy, Jared Goff, home against the Falcons. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Fields has been pretty awful
Against who?
At Kansas City. Give me Jared Goff.
At Kansas City. Do we
With
think
a-
that?
With Chris Jones back? Nope.
Know what's going to happen over there. But yeah, I think right now, I mean, you definitely just play golf until further notice. Play golf until further notice. Golf's been good. Hunter Henry, the real deal this year.
I don't think just this year. Hunter Henry's always been pretty good, even back to his Charger days. He just couldn't really stay healthy and kind of find a good rhythm. But Mac Jones loves him some Hunter Henry, and he's loved him since Hunter Henry got there. So if you don't get one of those top 3 tight ends, Hunter Henry is probably as good as it'll get after those top 3 guys.
Yeah, Cole Kmet is my other guy.
I got a guy, but that's going to be on our buy if we ever get to it.
Yeah, we're actually gonna go to it. We're almost at the end here, but we'll get to it in a minute here. Should I trade Lockett and Rashard White for Henry and Pickens? My other RBs are Najee and Warren, and wide receivers are Jefferson and Godwin.
Well, you want Henry more than White, but you like Lockett more than Pickens. Pickens did have a good game. I might do this deal and then try and move Pickens off the massive game.
That's true. You can do that off the upside. Yeah. That's actually a really good idea. That's a really good idea. Make the trade and then don't stop there. Use Pickens to try and tear up.
Maybe combine Pickens and Godwin and then go get yourself Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be a good one. Good days ahead for Bears.
No. It's never good days ahead.
Quentin Johnston. Possibly by the end of the season, if not next year, you'll know who Quentin Johnson is. London, Waddle, Ridley, and Lamb as current wide receivers. Oh, you're just showing off, simp.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
Oh, you're just showing. Oh, Ace meant Nico Collins. So that was, hold on. Michael Thomas, Puka,
or Nakua. He meant Nico.
Or Nico in the flex. It's got to be Puka right now, right?
Yeah, it does. Nico's a close second.
Till Cup comes back, it has to be, I think, Puka. Like, bro.
Nico gets some consideration, but Puka's just going crazy.
I just didn't let my guys go. Yeah. Unfortunately, when you want a top guy, you have to let a top guy go. And I know it hurts. It's so hard to do because you want to just try and give somebody that 3-4 for one like shit deal, but it's just not going to happen, especially what CDs do, especially what CD just did. So keep Ford or trade him as a wide receiver heavy 12 PPR team and thin at RB.
Well, who are you trying to get? And if you're that wide receiver heavy, you might need some production out of the RB spot.
Yeah, if you're wide receiver heavy, then Ford is kind of like the perfect fit for your build. Like that's a guy that you want,
You would imagine that you picked him up off
waivers. And I would say this. I mean, can you use him and another piece from your team to tear up from that? I mean, so, I would take a look at doing that as well. Mostert, Pacheco, McLaurin start 2.
Pacheco, take a seat.
Yeah, definitely Pacheco, take a seat. We're going Mostert and McLaurin there. Sports Spotlight, what's up? Would you trade away Aaron Jones and Christian Kirk for ETN PPR?
No. Nope.
No, yeah, I wouldn't either. I like Christian Kirk and I like Aaron Jones. I mean, ETN's been great, but
he's been okay. He has
I
been
don't
great.
think I don't think I would do that. I don't think I would do that.
Aaron Jones, you're basically giving him Christian Kirk for free. That's what you would be doing, because I think Aaron Jones and ETN finished very similar.
How if you're talking dynasty, then I'd do it for ETN.
Maybe, but I think this would be redraft, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I'm with you. With you. Fuck that. I want to stud for 2 players. Yeah. I rate my team though is it's straight how it is. I'm in a 12-team PPR league. I think I'm straight for you. I just want my guy CD. Yeah, I mean you weren't bad. I mean, like we said, I think we gave you some upgrades there, but yeah, overall, I mean you got a solid team. Is Puka the new Josh Gordon?
Nah, Josh Gordon had a lot of issues with him. I think Puka doesn't seem to be as explosive as Josh Gordon. Puka is more, like you said, Cooper Kupp adjacent than Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon was explosive.
What is Waddle worth in a full PPR? I mean, are we talking dynasty or are we talking redraft? I mean, he's worth a top 15-ish wide receiver. I mean, he was drafted as a top 12-ish wide receiver pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's basically what he is and what he's worth. He's worth a first plus, 2 firsts.
Yep.
Simp still lost this week because Ridley and Giants pooped the bed. Yeah,
that's fine though. Ridley will be better. Ridley's going to be awesome. Don't worry about it.
Andre Miller, Moss, or Ford?
I think I'm leaning Ford here, but Kendre Miller is an interesting play with Jamal Williams injury. Kendre Miller is going to be an interesting play.
Yeah, I think he definitely is. You can go with Moss or Ford. I think they could really use Kendre to kind of get the run game going. Like Jamal Williams is just not that good of a runner. So yeah, I do think I like.
I have Kendre Miller. I think.
Who's Ford playing this week?
Browns, Tennessee.
And who is Moss playing?
Zach Moss at Baltimore.
And who the Saints playing? Green Bay.
At Green Bay.
Tough. I might go Kendre there. Although Moss is interesting because there's just nobody else touches the football in that backfield.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I still like Jerome Ford, honestly.
All right. You trade Kirk for Jerry? No, I want Kirk.
For Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah.
Zay Jones did get hurt. Yeah, give me Christian Kirk here. Jerry Jeudy pissed me off last week.
Marquise Brown. No, I still kind of like Marquise Brown. I feel like he's pretty safe. I mean, Jerry Judy's got upside, but we just haven't seen it yet. I think I probably just take the upside in Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, I'd trade Hollywood for Jerry Jeudy, but that's even. I mean, listen, Hollywood hasn't been terrible. Like if he's your wide receiver 3, you're not in bad shape.
But I'm not trading away Christian Kirk for those guys, though. I want Christian Kirk over both of those guys.
Well, he said Kirk or Hollywood, so he has both.
Yeah. Would you trade away Christian Kirk or? Yeah. So I trade away Hollywood for Jeudy, not Kirk.
I agree.
Not Kirk. My team too good, give me nothing. Which I knew, but thank y'all confirming. No problem. What? Andrew, what's up, Andrew? Would you trade Devontae Adams for Jahan Dotson in Pitts, tight end premium league, 2 points per catch for tight end, 32-man league? Devontae Adams for Dotson and Pitts. I'm guessing this is dynasty. Then yes, I will trade Devontae Adams for Dotson and Pitts. If we are talking redraft, then no, I'm not doing it for redraft. But yeah, dynasty 32-man league, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I tend to agree, although I think Devontae Adams is still going to be good for a couple more years, but Dotson has good upside. I think McLaurin obviously being there kind of caps that, but I don't know. Kyle Pitts is starting to kind of become a little bit of a concern. I don't think he has people very excited, especially with that passing attack out in Atlanta.
That's why it's
But
a
yeah,
buy low.
yeah, I guess. How low can you go?
He's only what, 22? I mean, we've got plenty of times, we saw, it took Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, they're what, 4 or 5 years before they really turned into what they turned into.
Well, that's not even the comp. The comp is Travis Kelce, right? The comp is
how long did it take Kelce
at the tight end position? So they usually said it takes tight ends like 3 to 4 years.
It always takes tight ends.
Hawkinson.
So it took Kelce. He was tight end 9 2 years in a row. Then he's been tight end 1 ever since. But again, the QB situation, everything is different. It's a matter of the QB. How long can you wait? How long are you willing to wait? I mean, if you don't have one of those top 3 guys, then fuck it. Give me Pitts. I'll take the risk on Pitts and wait and see if that upside happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. Pitts doesn't excite me.
Puka versus Gordon was a league winner. Is Puka that? Yeah, Puka could be that.
Okay. Yeah, potentially.
Could be that. No, we did that already. Coach, what up, Coach? I appreciate everybody in here, guys. Make sure you smash that like for us. Smash that subscribe. Again. Coach C, Najee Madison, or Mike Evans, PPR.
I think it's Mike Evans. It's not particularly close.
Got to be Mike Evans easily.
It's not particularly close.
Gotta be. Najee Madison, Mike Evans, Marquise Brown. Start 1 for flex PPR. Yeah.
Still Mike Evans.
Absolutely, man. Z, what's up, Z? 10-man PPR, Gino, Kyron Pollard, Herbert Hill, JJ Smith, Pittman, Mike Will, McLaurin, Tutu, Laporta. Should I worry about my terrible RB death and try and package some wide receivers? 10-man hammer, PPR.
Well, I think Kyron has good staying power, especially if that Rams offense kind of stays on schedule. So I'm not saying you're in terrible shape. Herbert and Hill, not so much. Is that Devonta Smith, I would imagine, after JJ?
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Since you're okay with Kyron and Pollard right now, I wouldn't necessarily need to buy a wide receiver. You can maybe.
No, he's saying should he package some wide receivers to get running back depth?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So you said you don't need a wide receiver.
No, I'm saying I meant that I don't think you really need to go and buy a running back right now with those wide receivers. I would try and package those wide receivers to upgrade from Pittman, Mike Will, and McLaurin. In this particular, how many starters? That's important as well. Right, because if
it's 10, man. Can we trade Tutu for Can we trade Tutu for RB?
I would trade McLaurin as well.
Can we trade McLaurin for an RB? You've got plenty of depth there. Mike Will. I would give up some wide receivers to get a running back if you could.
Who are you targeting?
Running backs. Let's see. Who can we get maybe with a McLaurin? I mean, Brian Robinson.
Mixon. Mixon.
Mostert, maybe. It's going to be probably tough to get Mostert. Mixon, I'm okay with Mixon. Aaron Jones. I don't know if you could get a Jahmyr Gibbs, but especially now Monty's out, probably not. Would you take a Connor?
No, not really. James Cook is going to be tough to get. James Cook is going to be tough to get now, but still worth a reach.
Yeah. Sure. But yeah, those are some of the guys I'd probably look to get. Got Laporta off waiver. Should I drop Kincaid? They're going to be both the same. I don't know if it's going to matter as much.
I disagree, actually.
What do you think?
Laporta, the talent is possibly the same. Laporta is going to be more productive than Kincaid, and that's just the bottom line. Keep Laporta. You could keep, if you can keep both of them, that's fine. But Laporta is a starter right now as a tight end. He's a top 12. And a nice transition because he's actually going to be my buy.
Where's Kincaid at? Yeah, Kincaid's down here.
Dawson Knox is still catching touchdowns.
9 for 69. Yeah, he is. I think towards the end of the season that will probably change. But yeah, for now you can use Laporta until Kincaid kind of gets going if he does. But yeah, Laporta is like the main guy in the offense. But by the end of the season, I don't know if there'll be much of a difference. But for right now, you definitely want Laporta. Would you start Joshua Kelly if Eckler doesn't play? Yeah, even though he kind of shit the bed last week.
Shitter for a lot of people.
Lamar or Goff?
Lamar.
Dallas Goedert or Laporta?
That's actually interesting, Javier, because I have the same predicament because I have Goddard and Laporta on the same team.
Mm.
So I am in that pickle right now. I don't know what to do. I think, you play Joshua Kelly if Eckler doesn't play. I think you're still taking Lamar at this point because he has just ridiculous upside. Lamar can get you 40.
Yeah.
And then it comes down between Dallas Goedert or Laporta. Give me Laporta. Fuck it. I'm going balls to the walls. Give me Laporta.
Yeah, I'll go with that too. I'm with that. Just offering James Cook and D Hop for CD. Is that better? No, you probably got to add Zay Flowers with that, if not even more than that. I don't know. It's going to be tough, man. You have to give up a big gun. Tyreek, Amon-Ra, Josh Allen, Zay Flowers, Aaron Jones, Kittle, Kyron, bench, Akers, Kirk, Marquise Brown, Hayden Hurst, and Khalil Herbert. 10-man. Any trade targets, anyone to sell?
I mean, that's tough because the guys on your bench are either not playing well. Hayden Hurst, not a ton of value. Hollywood, not a ton. Christian Kirk does have some value. Aaron Jones is kind of banged up right now. I think you're pretty decent at wide receiver. I mean, Amon-Ra, Turf Toe. If Zay Flowers is your 3, I like that a lot.
And you got Kirk on the bench.
And you got Kirk. Kittle's frustrating, but I think you have to kind of stay with him. I don't think it's worth giving up assets. This is a tough one because what do you want to give up? What can you afford to give up?
Oh, can you give up Kirk? Can you give up Flowers, Marquise Brown, Khalil Herbert? Those would be the guys I'd probably be trying to look at giving up to try and
upgrade.
Running back if we can. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, because I'm okay with you got Cheetah, Amon-Ra, Flowers, Kirk. Marquise Brown. I mean, one of those guys you're going to have to get rid of. But I'm okay with any of the other guys to keep. Or you get rid of 2 of those guys, and then you still have 1. Like, so if you get rid of Flowers and Brown, then you got Kirk to plug in there, and now you can try and upgrade a running back position. And who we getting at running back? Can we go after a struggling Josh Jacobs? I don't know.
It's not bad.
Would you have to give up a running back? Maybe, but I mean, inquire and see like what is it going to take, or what team needs wide receivers, and then attack it that way. See what running backs they have, because if you're gonna give up 2 wide receivers, then it's gonna have to be a team that needs wide receivers. So, yeah, I would say that. I think Burrow is safe to start this week. I don't know yet. I think it's still very early.
See, the problem is that Burrow plays on Monday night. That's the key, right? If he was playing Sunday, 1 o'clock, that'd be ideal. But he's playing Monday, and I'm in the same exact boat, and I have Jared Goff, and I'm playing Jared Goff this week, regardless.
If he flares up in warmups, you're fucked.
Boom. I'm playing Jared
So-
Goff over Burrow this week.
Jamar, Henry, and Mostert for Pollard, Smith, and McLaurin. That explains how his running back depth got weakened. Jamar, Henry. Yeah, I don't like that. You gave up Jamar. You gave up Henry and Mostert. You got Pollard, Smith, and McLaurin. I mean, Pollard's good, but Smith, okay, but he ain't Jamar. I mean, McLaurin, but
I would have tried it. I would have tried to. What were you trying to get exactly? Because if anything, I would have just traded Mostert at his highest, at maximum value, and tried to target, if you wanted Devonta Smith, trade Mostert and maybe a small piece for Devonta Smith or something. You didn't have to give up Jamar Chase and Derrick Henry.
No, you definitely didn't have to do that. Madison, Pierce, or Mostert. It's got to be Mostert.
Fire up Mostert.
Yeah.
Mostert's just in such an explosive offense right now that he's the guy until further notice.
Got Fields, White, Akers, Amon-Ra, Cup, Riddle, Higgins, Addison, Boyd, Bourne. Do I trade Higgins or Ridley for Walker? I don't know and Richardson. Higgins or Ridley for Walker and Richardson. Yeah, if you could get both of them, I guess. Right?
Higgins or Ridley for Walker and Anthony Richardson.
I'd do that. I'd do that if you can get both of those guys.
I mean, you're really deep at wide receiver. Obviously, Cup not being there hurts. Who would you rather give up, Higgins or Ridley?
Probably Higgins.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree as well. I think Ridley will give you. I think Ridley will give you more steady production on a week-to-week basis. Higgins is going to be a little up and down just because he plays with Jamar.
Definitely. Ace said Keenan, Waddle, Ridley, Mike Evans. Pick 2. Jesus.
Hold on, Ace. If you have all these guys, Jesus Christ, like, you're kicking ass. It's probably 8-man, right?
Got to be Keenan, right? Does it have to be Keenan?
Yeah,
Has it be Keenan and Ridley or Keenan? It has to, as of right now, I guess you can say it's Keenan and Evans and Ridley. Waddle'll be out, I guess.
All right, let's look at the matchups. Chargers at Minnesota. Yes, Keenan is one.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, the Chargers defense is trash, so they got to throw.
Waddle. Where the Dolphins?
It's not Waddle. Forget Waddle. We're not going to play him over Ridley or Evans, right?
No,
right now, maybe over Evans, but I don't know about over Ridley.
Not necessarily. I mean, listen, if you're wrong and Waddle goes out there and gives you 30.
I mean, if you wanted to, I guess. I mean, if you want to predict the game that he does it, I mean, it's because that's the rough part about it. Can you fucking use some of these guys and trade up? Like, I don't know. Can you get CD? Like, that would probably be my next move. But if I had to pick one, who's Ridley playing?
Jags. I know I brought this up. Yeah, home against Houston.
Keenan Allen and Ridley. Keenan Allen and Ridley. Oh, he said it's 10 team. That's why. I believe JJ and Pittman wide receiver room was good. Scooped Kyron off the waivers. Didn't believe in Henry anymore. Okay, that's fair. Jamar struggles will continue. Okay, so at least you had but even though it might bite you, you had a vision, you had a plan for it, and you did it for a specific reason because you didn't believe in those players. So I'm fine with that. You're going to be wrong sometimes. That's just part of it.
The only thing I will say about that is if you're trading Jamar Chase, get something a little, capitalize on the value. That's what you always say. You want to capitalize on Chase's value, and I think Chase he's still going to be fantastic. So I would have tried to capitalize a little more on the value. Henry's still good, man. Like, he's especially redraft. Henry's still that dude. Now that team stinks. I don't know how they beat the Chargers. That pissed me off.
Vier, what's up, man? Who do you guys think will shine this week? One in each position. Appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys smash the like for us. Smash that subscribe if you're new. But who do you think will shine this week?
That's a nice question. I actually like that question.
So I guess we'll go QB first, right? Who's shining this week at QB? Honestly, that Chargers-Vikings game could be a fucking shootout.
Okay. Taking Kirk or
I think I'll take... I am a Vikings guy, so... I mean, Herbert is a guy that I really love this year, but yeah, I guess... well, are you going to take Herbert if I take Kirk?
No.
But yeah, I mean, Kirk's been on fire. So let's pick somebody else other than Kirk since he's been killing it. I do think he'll kill it again. But let's go with Herbert this week instead of Kirk. Go ahead. Who QB you got?
Give me Geno Smith home against Carolina.
Okay, fair. I'll take it. RB.
RB. I don't want to go with some of the obvious guys. I think this is kind of more of an under, somebody that, not the Christian McCaffreys, not the, Saquon's hurt. So Chubb is hurt. Eckler's hurt. Give me Travis Etienne at home against the Texans.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Pollard would be an easy one. Pollard, they're playing the Cardinals. I mean,
that could get out of hand quickly.
We'll go not so easy. Let's go with two rookies, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kendre Miller. Two guys that are going to get more burn this week.
Monty hurt. Kendre is kind of the guy.
Let's go wide receiver real quick. And guys, we're about to get out of here in the next 15 minutes. But wide receivers, who do you think? What wide receiver you got this week?
Wide receiver. Give me that's a tough one, man. I don't. There's so many awesome guys, dude. I'm looking kind of for a bounce back type guy.
All right, so I'll do one if you haven't thought of one yet.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy against the Dolphins.
I knew you were going to lean something that way.
I mean, it could be a high-scoring game. Dolphins' defense is pretty trash. The Broncos' offense hasn't really been it. But is this the game where Jerry Jeudy comes out? In a game that they probably are going to have to pass in.
Yeah, I kind of like that a lot. Give me A.J. Brown at Tampa.
A.J. Brown at Tampa. Okay, A.J. Brown gets off the hide. Okay. I think Jordan Addison could have a really big game as well.
He's been fantastic.
Tight end, I mean, meh.
I got my tight end.
Who you got?
Give me George Kittle, 75 yards and a touchdown.
Boom, okay. Give me fuck it. Give me Kate Auden against the Eagles.
That's spicy.
But they might have to throw.
Spicy.
Peter said start, sit, need one. Half PPR, Javonte London, Dotson, or Brandon Cooks.
1.5 PPR. It's not Cooks. He's out. I don't think it's Dotson either. It's between Javonte and London. Give me Javonte here. That passing game is too inconsistent. Give me Javonte.
Yeah. And then they're going. Who are they going against again? They were going against the Chargers, I think, right? So
Who? Denver?
yeah,
No,
right. Am I wrong?
Denver at Miami.
Who's that? Look, I mean Miami. Yeah, Miami. Okay, yeah, I think I'll go. Who's London playing?
Falcons.
Ooh, Lions. Yeesh. Nah, I'm going
Lions.
London. I'm going London. I'm going London. But
I'll stay Javante there.
Okay. Pollard not capitalizing. Yeah, he will finish. He will finish top 5. Possible. We'll see what
Pollard's
happens.
been good. He's been
Pollard's
awesome.
been really good. Pollard's been really good. He's getting the goal line work. He's getting everything. He's the guy. So can he keep it up for the whole season with staying healthy? So that's the bigger part. So
33 opportunities versus the Jets. That concerns me.
that's a lot. Yeah. Javier said good picks. You earned my follow. I got AJ Brown. So let's hope. Well, we appreciate you, Javier. Thanks for joining the crew.
Yes, sir. That's what we do.
Right, so let's get into these 2 buys real quick before we get out of here in the next 10 minutes. Oh, Chase. Yeah, but the rest of it wasn't a good return, I felt like. But no worries, you're good, bro. You in there. Pollard's doing his thing.
Yes.
All right. So my buy was Deontay Johnson, which I mentioned earlier. Right? He's on IR. You can get him for really, really cheap, especially if you're a contending team. And when he comes back, he'll command targets. What can you get Deontay Johnson for? What do you have to give up? A 2nd-round pick, probably. Or you can add like a pick and a player. Can you give up Tank Dell in a 3rd, Bateman in a 3rd, Shaheed in a 3rd, Sutton in a 3rd? Or you can go 1-for-1 like Jameson, Rashard White, Algier, a Kamara, a Pacheco, a Jerome Ford. Just some guys that kind of even up in the value that you can try and get Deontay for. I do like Deontay, I think, when he comes back. I think this offense needs Deontay. They're so bad. Like, Deontay kind of at least opens it up a little bit.
Balance.
They have to at least respect him and his route running,
I'll be honest. I like what I saw from Pickens. It wasn't great, but you saw what it could be.
Well, he had the one big catch, just like Garrett Wilson.
But he also started to heat up a little bit. Outside of that catch, there were some things I liked. Some things I didn't like, obviously. I mean, that offense.
He led the team in targets, which was big. That was like the main concern is can he command the targets? He had
I wasn't worried about him getting the targets. I really wasn't, honestly. I know you talked about Allen Robinson last week, but that was like a in-game injury and blah blah. I wasn't worried about Pickens not being the top target guy.
Well, I mean, I think he definitely he should be the top target guy, but the main concern is his target share just in general is like 15%. Like it's just so bad. And that with Deontay Johnson on the field, that's when I worry about George Pickens. Without Deontay on the field, it looks like, 10 targets. Shit, give me that all day. So I like that. My worry is when Deontay comes back. But we'll see what happens. But that's one of the guys I'm trying to buy in Dynasty, just for pretty cheap. Hammer, who is your buy going to be? And then we'll get
my Dynasty buy, not a wide receiver, but it's Sam Laporta, man. I think Sam Laporta has really, really awesome upside, and he's just a rookie. And we've said that rookie tight ends take kind of a couple of years. It looks like he's ready right now to bust out, and he could vault himself into the top 5. He could be a top 5 tight end before the season's over. Give me Sam Laporta all day in a good offense with Jared Goff. They have a rapport already. I want Sam Laporta all day.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, Sam Laporta is going to be really good. So,
and think about it. Kelsey's getting a little bit older. Kittle's a little bit older. Mark Andrews a little bit older.
What can we get Laporta for? If you have Travis Kelce and you've got a shit team, you got to get rid of Kelce. What would
Laporta
you take?
plus.
Sam Laporta and like I don't know, what would it take to get
I would take Laporta plus a young wide receiver with some upside. Say Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Laporta and Flowers for Kelsey.
Okay. What if Zay Flowers is too? Maybe you got to give something else. Maybe you got to throw in a third or a second. Zay Flowers is tough because he's up there. Like people are really valuing him. He's kind of skyrocketed up.
Okay.
What about Marvin Mims? Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed maybe, but the problem with Jaden Reed is that with Dubes, with Watson, with Musgrave, I think Jaden Reed's not going to be. I don't know if he'll be. It looks good now because no Watson, so the targets are available. When Watson comes back, it might cap Jaden Reed a little too much for me to. He might not even make my lineup every single week. So I'm going to need a little something more than Jaden Reed. Christian Watson, maybe? Laporta and Christian Watson? I don't know. Can't hear you.
I said that's a lot. That's high. It's tough to think if somebody would want to give that up,
for Kelsey
to go out and get Kelsey. Like I think that's really the predicament about trading Kelsey right now. It's like,
Watson,
what do you get for him? Like who's willing to give that up? Like that's I think that's the toughest part.
Well, I think with Watson being hurt, the values dropped off considerably. So
yeah, could be. That's true. Young visionary. You could also go the opposite way and say because Jordan Love has been so good that Christian Watson is kind of gaining momentum.
But we haven't seen it until we see it.
Yeah. Young visionary, what's up? Should I trade away Josh Jacobs? His situation and schedule isn't helping him, and who should I trade him for?
No, you can't trade Josh Jacobs yet because his value is not great coming off that offseason. He's not really playing very well right now. Wait till Josh Jacobs has a big game and then trade him because then you'll get maximum value.
It depends on what your team looks like, right? What do you need? I mean, typically when we're trading running backs in Dynasty, we want to get a wide receiver or something, or whether we're tearing down or at least another position. So, like, what is the situation? It's hard to just say what you should trade him for. I mean, I'd take a first plus, but it kind of depends on what your situation is on why you want to trade him. What do you need for your team? So, let us know a little more info, and we'll try and give you a little bit of a better value there. Breece Hall value. I got an owner showing me attention. Breece Hall is like RB2, bro, in Dynasty.
Breece Hall still legit.
Visionary, is this Dynasty or are we talking redraft? I just want to make sure. But yeah, Breece Hall's value is, he's RB2. You can pretty much get whatever you want. Almost. He's at least 2 firsts. At least 2 firsts equivalent to a top 15-ish wide receiver, I guess you can say. Trust Josh Jacobs. Look to sell after this week if production isn't there. I believe he'll bounce back. Yeah, I mean, if you want to get the maximum value, then you want to wait until the right time, right? So wait till he does have a good week, and at that time, that's when you strike.
And remember, I've been saying as a Josh Jacobs owner, like he didn't have any camp, he didn't have preseason. It's going to take him 3 to 4 weeks to kind of get the ball rolling. So,
redraft. Okay, so hold on. Let me reassess this. So no, Josh Jacobs, you got to hold him. Same situation though. You have to hold him until he does anything. Breece Hall, almost same kind of thing. I mean, I'm sure people are like, "What the fuck?" after last game when he barely got any touches. So
he'll get 20 touches this week.
I think another one. You're gonna have to wait until he goes off. Top 20-ish wide receiver, I guess. Both of those guys redraft.
Yep.
How we liking Tutu as a permanent? Not a permanent fixture. I mean, once Cup comes back, it'll be Cup and Puka, and Tutu will be like okay. But I mean, no.
Agreed.
I'm okay with dropping Lazard for him for sure. But once Cup comes back, like things are going to change for Tutu.
Yeah, Lazard is trash.
Josh for Brees Hall and Puka. Yeah, I'll take Hall and Puka, I think. Yeah, give me Hall and Puka. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it,
I love
Young
that.
Vish. Let's do it.
I love that, actually.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I wish
Guys,
somebody
throw
would
any,
offer me that.
right? Throw any last questions you got in the chat. We're about to get up out of here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like for us. Hit that subscribe if you're new. And we'll see y'all next week on both channels. We'll see y'all probably tomorrow on our channel. But definitely come through. But we'll give y'all another minute or so to get any last questions out in the chat. That there's our guy Bayou. What up, Bayou Bengal? What up, brother? What is goody? How's your fantasy season treating you so far?
How many hamstring guys do you have?
How many injuries you got?
It's bullshit.
But yeah. Undefeated, he said. Good for you, Bayou. My guy's doing it right so far. Stock update for Dalvin and Jamar.
Dalvin, no thank you. Jamar, give me all the Jamar.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Burrow will be okay if he sits 1 week, but I think after that he'll be okay. Just depends on what I'm no doctor, so I can't speak on anything on that. And but I think Burrow will be okay, and Jamar, of course, will be okay on top of it. But yeah, Dalvin stock definitely down. Jamar, I mean, this is a buying opportunity for Jamar. I mean, go and buy Jamar if you could. So Saquon is ruled out. Hasn't been. Yeah, I thought that's fucking crazy to me. I heard 3-4 weeks, and they're talking about he's questionable.
4 days.
Like, what?
Brian Daboll's
4 days.
trolling everybody. He's trolling everybody.
He's I mean, I don't know, bro. Those fucking quads, those legs, bro.
It's an ankle.
This motherfucker might be bionic.
Oh, here goes
his ankle. I mean,
reference.
imagine what his ankle. Shit. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But all right, guys, we are about to get up out of here. Appreciate everybody again for tuning in and coming through. But we'll see y'all on the next one.
You ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother.
Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know? Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile. Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
It don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, 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 money.